All right. Hello, everyone. Quick little post-edit disclaimer. So we were having a little bit of technical difficulties as far as the audio goes. Y'all might notice at times it might sound a little bit echoey. I did my best in post to kind of eliminate that, but you'll definitely notice, especially when we're both talking at the same time, me and my friend Koa, you'll see that it just gets a little, I don't know. I don't know. It's not too bad. Shouldn't be too noticeable. It is our first try, first go at this. Um, but yeah, also another little disclaimer. Today is Friday, the 23rd, April 23rd, 2021. And today is the day that Baltimore just traded their left tackle, Orlando Brown, to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for some picks. And one of those picks was the 31st overall pick. So yeah, just disregard the 31st pick in this mock draft here. But as far as I know, everything else is up to date. Me and my friend, we had a ton of fun recording this. I think hopefully some of y'all will enjoy this. But yeah, enjoy the show, guys. Give us some feedback on potential improvements, what y'all liked, what y'all didn't like, everything, whole 9 yards. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned for more stuff coming, hopefully, in the future. And yeah, let's ride. All right, yeah, mine's good.
Okay, mine's good too. Let's go, man.
All right, let's do it.
First official mock draft. First official. Would you say video?
Video, mock draft, podcast,
Whatever you want to call it.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
just, we're just rolling, I guess. I don't know. I guess this is just a scenario where what we pick, for
Our opinions. Yes.
our opinion. So we're basically putting ourselves in the shoes of these GMs. And for those of you who don't know what a mock draft is, I don't know why you're here, but basically what a mock draft is we're simulating what's going to happen on draft night. Like we're putting ourselves in the position of these GMs. We're going to be alternating picks, and I'm going to be picking for the NFC East, and you're going to be picking for the NFC South, right?
Yeah.
NFC South? Yeah, because we're picking for our respective favorite teams, divisions. I'm a Washington football team fan. Doesn't really roll off the tongue as well as Atlanta Falcons fan, but
Yeah, but I mean, we definitely go through more heartbreaks, so I guess
100%.
you have that.
100%. Yeah, our future is looking great. Low key, I mean, I'm happy, honestly, with how terrible our culture has been. I'm excited. This draft I feel like can change a lot for us. So I'm really looking forward to just recording, expressing my thoughts on these prospects and getting into it. And I guess I'm going first, right? With the Jacksonville
Yeah, bro,
Jaguars.
start it off. Let's go.
All right, I'm about to do something absolutely wild here. No one's going to predict this. I'm going to go with the relative unknown in Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
Give the extreme Mel Kiper analysis on this man, since no one knows about Trevor.
Oh, yeah,
Lawrence.
on this unknown prospect, the 5-star quarterback that no one knows about out of Cartersville, Georgia. I mean, let's just be honest. Trevor Lawrence separates himself in this absolutely stacked quarterback class. And as far as prospects go from the quarterback position, I don't think you get any better than Trevor Lawrence. He ticks every single box. I mean, even if I'm not even a big size guy, he's 6'6". Like if you're for whatever reason like a heckler on having the right size at your quarterback position, he can check that box. He's mobile. We saw that run against Ohio State, that insane 40-yard rush with that nasty juke. You take away his legs, he might still be the number 1 overall pick. The football IQ is there. He makes crazy throws after crazy throws. I mean, he reads the defense. He makes adjustments at the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is probably the best quarterback prospect I've seen come out of college since Andrew Luck, as far as surefire number 1. And this is in a very good quarterback class, in my opinion. So I know this is kind of a lot saying he is the consensus number 1, but he's the consensus number 1 for a reason. And I don't know if you have anything else to say about this, but I mean, this is just an obvious pick for me. And I felt like elaborating because people aren't taking enough time to realize how special Trevor Lawrence is, because there's so much more fun things to talk about down the line at quarterback, but he really does separate himself from a talent perspective. He's just that guy.
What else is there even to add to that? I mean, you literally gave like a whole college essay on him, honestly, but it's well deserved because that man has literally been talked about as a prospect ever since high school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's boring, you know? No one's really taking into account everything that he's accomplished, which is actually crazy as a freshman beating Alabama, which is...
That's so true. He really has. He's won a natty.
Utterly ridiculous, man. But which was a very fluky championship game as well. Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, but all those throws and catches that were being made was literally ridiculous. But moving on to the second pick, it's... Me personally, if I'm the Jets GM, I'm going with Zach Wilson. Honestly, I just think it's a situation where I'm always about the win-win scenarios, which there's no losing if you're the Jets. If you win, the reason why it's a win-win situation is because if you pick Zach Wilson, that's honestly the more so expected pick to make because that's right. The media is falling in love with him. I mean, there are a few of those in the media that are pushing for Fields at 2, but honestly, if I'm the Jets, I'm still picking Zach Wilson. Just the throws he's able to make. He has all the talent.
Platform throws.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. All the talent, man, and the mobility. I just think it's more so just the competition he played. But honestly, if you just have the talent, man, I just don't see how you don't.
You look for the traits, and I think you're right. He just flashes on tape. I watched a decent bit of BYU because I was just looking at the stats he was putting up, and like it shows on film. Like his stats definitely show out on film. Yeah, he's a beast. And I know it's kind of become the consensus too, and to the point where people are maybe thinking he's overhyped, but I don't buy it. I think he got to this point for a reason. There's a reason why he's the consensus like 1B to Trevor Lawrence. And I mean, I think he should probably be in a situation where he gets to sit a year. I wouldn't want to throw him into the fire immediately, and the Jets, that roster is not equipped to do that. He would come in and day one easily be the best quarterback there. I think they should probably sign a veteran just to start.
Sam,
even like you said earlier, like Joe Flacco, even if he's there, he could help up just
if he stayed, man.
Yeah.
They should really find a way to keep him in. Also, the reason why I said it's a win-win because the last thing you want to do as the New York Jets is have the New York media criticize you if you pass him up, and then let's say for some odd reason the 49ers take him and he sits, kind of learns from Jimmy G and turns out to be the quarterback that we all expected.
Yeah.
Like you just don't want that. So you'd rather just stick with him. If he pans out, then that's great for your organization. And if he doesn't, people won't blame you. They honestly won't unless Justin Fields becomes an NFL superstar.
Right.
Then they will. But, I mean, could they really blame you, though, for taking Wilson over Fields? I don't know. But you never know with the media, honestly.
Yeah, I don't either. And I accidentally just double-clicked, but it doesn't matter because I double-clicked the right player here. I'm the Niners at 3. I'm taking Justin Fields. Kyle Shanahan is going to absolutely love Justin Fields, and I think this is what's going to happen on draft night. And if I'm the Niners, I'm ecstatic. I think having Justin Fields, that type of athlete in a Kyle Shanahan-led offense, you have some decent weapons. You got Deebo Samuel. You have Brandon Ayuk. Even just running backs tend to flash in that system. So even if you don't have like that, I guess you still have Mostert. You might not have Tevin Coleman, but it's the Niners and Kyle Shanahan. They're going to get another running back to look good. I just think that's the best position that Justin Fields can be put in. And running that 4.4, which obviously I think the 40-yard dashes, which is another topic on its own, were definitely like inflated this year. I mean, we saw like defensive linemen supposedly running like 4.3s.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But that 4.4 that Fields ran looked like legit. Like I was not expecting that type of top-end speed. And obviously like top-end speed, track speed, and football speed are like different things. But I think Fields is accurate. He's got a good arm. And if this is any other quarterback class, I think he could easily be like the number 1 overall pick or at least the first quarterback taken.
Yep. It's just really stacked, man.
It's so stacked. It really is.
That's crazy to really think about.
And yeah, I just love him for Kyle Shanahan. I think if this is how the draft pans out, I personally believe you see Justin Fields having the best career out of these 3 just because of the situation he's put in and the coach he gets. I think that staff is perfect for him, but we get to number 4. This is your team. And like we said, I don't know if we mentioned it already. I think we did, but no trades. So we can't make any trades. We're just going like this. I think it's more fun that way to kind of have your team be forced to pick because I feel like there's a lot of teams here that would want to trade down. But at 4, Falcons are in a good spot here. Where do you go?
Yep. And you worded it perfectly. It just makes it more fun when you have to force them to make a pick and not think so much about trades and who gets what picks. But if the Falcons do have to stay at 4, honestly, give me Kyle Pitts, man. This generational type of talent with Megatron just attributes, just the way how he's able just to fly off the ball and just be a mixed match with linebackers, safety, corners. He's too big for a corner. He changes direction too quick for a linebacker. And safety, they just couldn't cover a tight end like that. And I think in nowadays, it's just a new game. It's just a new game, you know. Mm-hmm. Tight ends now are utilized more than ever as receiver options. And, you know, you have Julio Jones, you have Calvin Ridley. You have the creativeness of your new head coach and Arthur Smith who is able to utilize his tight ends. You saw what he did with Jonnu Smith, got him paid. And you got Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts potentially both as your tight ends. If you run those two sets with those two receivers, those two tight ends,
two wide receiver sets
everywhere, man.
Oh my gosh,
you have a potential of all pros, man.
Yeah, that would just be so much fun. Imagine just scheming up everything you scheme up. All these guys can create mismatches.
Arthur Smith would have a field day. And the one thing is, I love my boy Trey Lance. I really do. I love my boy Penei Sewell, but it's just I don't believe in taking a quarterback at 4 and then having him sit for like 2 years, because the Falcons did restructure Matt Ryan's contract, which it would be like a $40 million cap hit for the next 2 years, and I just wouldn't want to take that big of a cap hit. And
it worked out for the Packers though, with Aaron Rodgers. You know, they had Brett. He sat for like
Aaron
2 years.
Rodgers, man.
I guess it is Aaron.
It's Aaron, like Matty
not,
Ice.
You know
I love Matt Ryan, but
yeah, and it's not 4. That was a late first round pick. So you're right.
Exactly.
Nah,
he fell to them at what, like 26?
Yeah, it was something like that. Well, that's
21,
that's where Jordan Love went too. I don't think it was 26, but
24. I think it was 24.
Actually, this is pretty off topic, but this is something I actually kind of want to talk about, and I haven't even brought this up to you. Have you heard the Jordan Love trade rumors?
Yeah, with the Patriots. Yeah,
there's Patriots.
I think the Patriots would win that trade.
100%. I mean,
I love Jordan Love, man.
Unless the Packers know something about Jordan Love that the rest of the NFL doesn't, the Patriots would fleece
They do
them.
see him in practice a lot. They do. That's the only thing. But like, we even haven't seen him in preseason. That's the one thing that's kind of sus too.
That's what I loved about preseason. Like, you could just see these players flash. Without the preseason, I don't know if Dak gets on the field as soon as he does. Right? He was a preseason like Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was balling, bro.
In his rookie season, then Tony Romo goes down and he pops off.
Okay, man, but
I love Kyle Pitts on the Falcons, man. That'd be so much fun. But now I'm the Bengals at 5. Yeah, if I'm the GM of the Bengals, this is the easiest pick in the world. I'm taking Penei Sewell. I don't really know exactly how to pronounce his name. Tackle out of Oregon. This man is an athletic monster, and I need to keep the Messiah, Joe Burrow, up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is the savior of the franchise.
Yep, agreed.
It's
really a tough decision. Like, it may seem clear cut to you. Bro, it's so tempting, bro.
For
to
Jamar
get his
Chase
teammate. But then again, you already picked the receiver in the second round last year, so you might as well go with.
This is a very deep receiving class, too.
True.
Like, I think, Jamar Chase, to me, is the best receiver in this class, even though another receiver won the Heisman. But I think that just speaks to the level of depth in this class. You can take Penei Sewell, which also a lot of people are calling this a pretty strong offensive lineman class as well, at least tackle-wise and guard-wise. Maybe not so much center, but I think Penei Sewell separates himself as the clear-cut number 1 athletic offensive tackle. And we look at the Buccaneers last year with Tristan Wirfs. People just, they were saying, yeah, he's a beast athlete, but how is that going to translate to the NFL? Is he going to be technically sound? It works. If you have just that athletic of a tackle and you can coach him up, it can hit instantly. And I think this is a home run pick for the Bengals. They can't miss out on that. You have to protect Joe Burrow. I think you have enough weapons there that he just needs protection. I mean, he looked pretty well as a rookie for the limited time we got to see him before my team absolutely obliterated his knee. But yeah, for me, I'm not even questioning this. I do see the argument for Jamar Chase here, but I need offensive linemen. I think you just got to value protecting your quarterback a little bit higher here. But here you are at number 6.
I do agree with that.
With the team absolutely fleecing everyone else.
Yes, bro. The Dolphins, bro. Whoever's the GM, bro.
Give him a raise.
This man's playing connected franchise on these dudes, bro. Literally. He's a my league god. But at 6, since the Bengals won't take him, I am going to take Jamar Chase. Granted, just like you said before, another receiver in Devontae Smith. He did win the Heisman. But I just think you got Will Fuller. You already got your speedster, You already got Devontae Parker. But what you need is Jamar Chase, and you need to surround your boy Tua which
My boy
people
Tua.
love creating some drama and some speculation with, oh, they need to go here or this guy needs to go here, blah, blah, blah. Is this quarterback really his guy? But no, the Dolphins drafted Tua. You need to know if he's really the guy who you picked.
100% agree. 100%
He was in
agree.
debate for arguably being the number one quarterback, and I just think people love speculation. But honestly, give him the best opportunity. Surround him with the most weapons you can. And with that being said, Jamar Chase is the best athlete on the board. I'm sorry. I'm just taking all that size, all that speed. There's literally no holes in his game. Yes, he sat out a year, but he made Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. He looked
Like,
yeah,
he was the obvious number 2, just like you've always said. He was the obvious number 2, and Justin Jefferson had one of the best rookie receiver years we've ever seen. So I just think it's a no-brainer. And the Dolphins aren't going to mess this up. I guarantee.
Yeah.
I know that they're going to take Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not off the board at this point, you have to take Jamar Chase. And that's what I'm saying. I think he's the best pass catcher or the best receiving threat in the class. I know Kyle Pitts has the most versatility out of almost any prospect I think I've ever seen. But
When you first said that, I was kind of like, but you're right.
I mean,
100%.
he made A.J. Terrell, who honestly did not have a terrible rookie season last year for the Atlanta Falcons.
He had a very good one.
He made him look like an undrafted free agent type of prospect in the national championship. And I mean, that's just a testament. And this man is an absolute worker. I know he took the year off, but I was just watching, I don't know, it was some like documentary or something. He's working. He's like 8 pounds heavier or something like that. He's gotten faster. He's gotten stronger. He's just working. He's a man. I think he's earned this spot. Like, he has earned his way to being this highly touted of a prospect. And now this is actually where I know we've done this before. We kind of had some technical difficulties, but you might still be just as surprised. I don't know. Apparently the Lions but they think Jared Goff can be their guy, I guess, from what I've heard, which I disagree with. I think Jared Goff is passable. He's serviceable. He can win you a Super Bowl if you have an absolutely stacked roster, which he did with the Rams, and he couldn't beat Tom Brady. He put up 3 points with the best offense against
fifth greatest offense in league history.
Yeah,
3 points.
And I mean, yeah, it is Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl, but look, I'm not buying into Jared Goff. I want somebody who the mold of a successful quarterback nowadays, outside of Tom Brady, you look at the top guys, big arm, mobile, and they can improvise. They can make plays out of,
This man's gonna really
the
say
schematics of the play. They can, when the play breaks down, they make plays happen. Give me Trey Lance out of North Dakota State for the Lions. I'm the GM here. I'm not the Lions. I don't think the Lions make this pick. I think this is a very good trade down spot for the Lions if the draft pans out like this. But if I'm the Lions here, and look, I know they need wide receiver bad. They lost Marvin Jones, who was basically, they also lost Kenny Golladay. I don't know how I was going to forget about him. They don't have receivers, but like I said, this is a very deep receiver class. I think if they go Trey Lance round 1, they can still get a guy who can definitely be a day 1 starter, even if he's a potential to in, day 2 of the draft. I just love this for the Lions. And he gets to sit a year behind Jared Goff, who, like I said, is serviceable. Even 2 years, which I know you said you don't like to do if you're taking a guy in the top 10. And yeah, the fans might be clamoring for him to come in the game, but
I mean, it's different when it's 4. If it's top 5, top 10, I can let slide. Like, what's his name? Justin Herbert sat behind Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
so,
well, for a game, and then he just came out and balled out.
Well, yeah, because of his collapsed lung.
Yeah.
So that's
shout
why,
out to the doctors who just stabbed my man's in the straight up lung. He can't catch a break. He can't catch a break. Every time
I do feel bad for him, bro.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, Tyrod. Oh my lord, man.
That's when I started watching. Like, I was like, the Bills are fun. The Bills are fun.
Yep.
Like, he just came out of nowhere. When he became the starter that year, no one was expecting him to be the starter. I don't even remember who the other quarterbacks were, but they were like, yeah, we can basically write off Tyrod Taylor to be the starter. He's not going to be the starter. Comes out in preseason, which, like I said, kind of miss because he balled out.
Didn't they make the playoffs too? I think they did.
He got benched.
Did make the
he got
playoffs.
benched for Nathan Peterman, and he still made the playoffs. When Peterman threw 5 picks in that first half.
Yeah, sometimes I don't buy in the whole racist, but that was low key racist.
Yeah, that was low key kind of wild.
That was sus.
I don't know if it was.
I won't say racist, but that was sus, bro.
Yeah,
because
I think
really
Sean
sus.
McDermott was the coach at the time, and obviously he's one of the best coaches right now.
Bro,
I don't know if it was racist. I just think maybe he thought Peterman can give him a different element to the offense. Because, I mean, even though Tyrod is very mobile, he is limited. He doesn't have a big arm. He is accurate, but he's not a risk taker. He's just like a game manager who can run kind of guy. And Peterman in college out of Pittsburgh, he would sling it.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to play well. I really did. And he did.
5 interceptions at first half. But with you saying that, I mean, Trey Lance, I mean,
I love Trey
I don't
Lance
hate it. I mean, you kind of talked me into it, but at the same time, it's like the Rams GM really loves Jared Goff. You said it at first. I mean, they probably don't make that move, but this is you. This is what you would envision for the Lions. Like, you don't believe in the Jared Goff hype, which I do not blame you.
Now, granted, if for whatever reason I did love Jared Goff, or if I was cool with Jared Goff for right now, and I didn't think Trey Lance would be as good as he can be with that upside, I think this is a very obvious Devontae Smith situation pick here.
Mm-hmm.
You need receiver. Last year, the Heisman was a receiver. You take the Heisman. Why not?
And that is who I'm psyched. No, I'm not. With the 8th pick in the NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers are picking Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. This is my whole mindset. I'm going to go through it, knock out every key point. So basically, you traded for Sam Darnold, who you expect to win you some games. Who was the quarterback before for them?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater and other boys couldn't. So, honestly, you and I are very high on Sam Darnold coming out of USC.
I am.
Yes. I am a believer in him, honestly, and that's coming from a Falcons fan. Like, I'm actually kind of nervous about this, but you surround him with arguably 3 wide receivers with Christian McCaffrey along with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Great supporting cast. What you need to do is protect Sam Darnold so that you can make sure that he can prove to you that he's your guy, that you made a right decision. You didn't even gamble that much to get him. You traded a few picks. You didn't even give up a first rounder. Those Jimmy G vibes. So you made all your picks last year with Matt Rule leading, who's doing a phenomenal job in Carolina. All your picks last year were defense. With Jeremy Chin especially and Derek Brown, bro.
They really have kind of knocked it out of the park with these defensive selections.
Exactly. They went straight
They really
defense,
have.
and they knocked it out of the park with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore is flourishing. Christian McCaffrey, as long as he stays healthy, top 3 running back in the league. Like, you're good. So protect what you got with Sam Darnold. Make sure that he's in the most comfortable situation that he's in, because he went through hell playing for the Jets. Everyone's doubting him, especially in New York. No one believed in him. But now Carolina, he's in an organization where he is believed in. So I really feel like this is a great situation for him. They're setting him up to succeed, not to fail like they did in New York.
Yeah.
Case done.
Wow. You killed it. You killed it.
Literally. That will be my best take for the night.
That was pretty nice. And I 100% agree with absolutely everything you said. You have decent talent there. He gets to relink up with Robbie Anderson, who has now established himself as a legitimate NFL receiver.
Good point.
And, there's already some chemistry there. Matt Rule, he's pretty creative schematically. And I think Rashawn Slater, a lot of people are saying day one, Rashawn Slater is probably the most NFL-ready tackle. So get him out there. Why not? And have him protect Sam Darnold. Now, this is where I think, I think the Denver Broncos here at 9, based on how the draft has panned out so far, especially because Trey Lance just went at 7, I think this would be the first time as the GM of the team that I would want to trade down. Now, obviously, I can't do that because of the rules we gave ourselves. So I'm forced to make a selection here. Now, let me start off by saying this. I think the Broncos have an excellent roster. I think they have a very underappreciated receiving core. Now, especially now that Cortland Sutton's coming back. You have Jerry Jeudy. You have, what's his name out of
Tim Patrick, and you have that boy, KJ Hamler.
KJ Hamler out of Penn State. I love KJ Hamler. Speed, route running. They have four legit NFL receivers.
Yes.
I think any of those guys at the minimum could be a solid number 2 on any team. And you have all 4 just playing for the same team. The defense, I mean, as we know it, Von Miller is still there, right?
Just injuries, man.
Injuries. And I mean, obviously that off the field stuff. That was a little sketch, but he's still there, I guess, as we know. I think Drew Lock has lost them some games. I'm not very high on Drew Lock here. I think they're a quarterback away from being legitimate contenders in the AFC, honestly. I think they have a talented enough roster. They also just signed some corners. They got Ronald Darby off my team, who reestablished himself as a pretty solid corner. They signed someone else too, right? Who else did they sign? I'm going to pull this up. Let me pull this up.
This man is going straight quarterbacks, except for the Bengals. Straight QBs, man. I only got to take one. This man took 4. This man's about to take all 4 of the top 5.
I'm looking at the depth chart now. Even O-line, Garrett Bowles, beast last year, out of nowhere. I think he's. It just came out. I don't know.
Yeah.
He wasn't very good. Jawan James isn't terrible. You could probably improve on the inside of that line. Dalton Reisner,
Yeah.
Lloyd Cushenberry,
No other tackles worthy of that 9th pick, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, Kyle Fuller. How did I forget Kyle Fuller?
Oh, yeah.
You still have Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson, too. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb.
That's a solid.
This team is great. This team, on paper, this team is great. So, like I said, I think they're a quarterback away, and this is a guy who's rumored to maybe go at 3. I'm not insanely high on him, at least comparatively to the other quarterbacks. If I'm the Broncos, why not? Give me Mac Jones out of Alabama.
Mackey.
Well, we've already seen what he can do when you have 4 great receivers. Now he's on a team with 4 great receivers. Maybe eases that situation a little bit. I don't know. Who knows?
Hey, we see he's going to reunite with Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, true.
And we know what he loves to do with those receivers, man. When he has great receivers, we see what happens.
Yeah. The man was a beast last year. He was accurate. I mean, look, I think the upside comparatively to the 3 guys I have taken so far, or I guess, because what, Trey Lance, 3 guys. Yeah, he's the, I don't know. I feel like he could do really well there. He doesn't have as much upside, but I think it's fine. I think he's an upgrade over Drew Lock for sure, which I think.
And even test out Drew Lock to see what he's made of. See how he does thriving under pressure, knowing that his job is literally at stake this year. Like last year was like, okay, like this is
That'd
your
be
team.
kind of interesting. Take him at 9, but still maybe let Drew Lock be there.
I think you have to still like give him a shot. You know,
I
like
don't think so.
I think he's gonna still start week 1.
Really?
Depending
No
on
matter
how he
what?
plays. Yeah, no matter what happens.
You think even if they get Trey Lance, which I think could very well happen, you
Yes.
think they still?
I would not throw Trey Lance in the fire. I just
agree.
couldn't.
I wouldn't.
I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Out of all the quarterbacks, I think he's the one that needs to sit the most. He needs to
That's
sit.
fair. He has very, very limited experience, and
Exactly.
at the FCS level too. That's a good point. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I guess this is me again,
Bro,
huh?
knock off. I don't think we said this last time, but the NFC East is so bad that 3 straight teams.
Oh, the NFC East.
Yeah, but I mean, Philly traded down, so don't. But they were 6th.
Yeah, terrible. I mean, we won the division at 7-9. I think that's enough to tell you.
But you guys,
But I love
were the closest to the Super Bowl champs, though.
Yeah,
Let that
we
sink
played
in for a moment.
the Buccaneers the best.
The best
Taylor
quarterback.
Heineke.
Taylor Heineke, bro.
The
That's
GOAT.
the best quarterback.
The GOAT. Man, we got fun quarterbacks now with Fitzmagic. All right, well, I'm
You guys
gonna.
have the perfect meme quarterback.
Yeah, we're set. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Here we go. This is my least favorite team in the league. I would absolutely hate it if they made this pick, but right now I'm putting myself in the mind of my eyes are closed. Like I'm literally envisioning this right now. I'm in the draft.
Jerry
seat.
Jones and Stephen Jones in the draft war room.
Yeah. I think this is a no-brainer pick. Now, this is a guy who lived close to me, Alpharetta, Georgia. He went to Alpharetta High School. Give me J.C. Horn.
Ooh.
J.C. Horn. He is the best press man corner in the draft, and I think that is the traits you want from your cornerback one, depending on your system. So, I mean, I was just, even today, I mean, you probably saw on Instagram working with Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. I did see
I
that
was
today.
saying that Jalen Ramsey is like, yeah, you're a beast.
And he
I think
doesn't
he's
give
top.
praise easily.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw that out.
I think he's gotten a little bit more humble. I think he's matured a little bit since entering.
Oh,
the
yeah. I
league.
mean, for sure after that QB
Yeah.
list. And you said Blake Bortles is
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and
Like,
he said Josh Allen is trash. Yeah, I remember that.
Jeez,
Look at it now. Nah, J.C. Horn, he would do so good on the Cowboys, and I think Diggs, right? Diggs last year, I think he got criticized a little harshly. I mean, I watched both of our games against him. We beat him twice, and Terry McLaurin made him look like a fool. But it's Terry McLaurin, right? Like Terry McLaurin's a matchup nightmare for most cornerbacks in the league. I know Darius Slay said he was one of the hardest wide receivers he had to face. Even as a rookie, he was saying that.
Dude, I love that
Terry
man,
McLaurin, I still think he's underappreciated. I'm probably biased because I'm a Washington fan.
Top three receivers quickly off the dome. Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, 3 most underrated receivers in the league.
Okay, I thought you said top 3. I'm like, maybe not top 3.
And honestly, I may even put Tyler Lockett in there.
I love Tyler Lockett, man.
I love Tyler
Lockett.
I love Tyler Lockett too.
His chemistry,
he makes tough catches, man.
I agree. His chemistry,
toe drag
in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I think the chemistry between a wide receiver and a quarterback is essential. And I don't know if that's the chemistry between him and Russ is insane.
For sure.
And I think that might just be a testament to how good of a teammate Russ is.
Oh yeah, you're big on Russ, man.
I am. Okay, well, going back to the pick, I'm gonna wrap this up. J.C. Horn and Diggs as your cornerback 1 and cornerback 2. I think that secondary is immediately improved. And I know they made some free agency signings. They took both of your guys, KZ from the Falcons and Keanu Neal. So they got both of them.
Keanu and that boy KZ.
Yeah, they got them both. They're just taking, and I know isn't what's his face is the defensive coordinator now, right? The old head coach.
Quinn. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're basically just building the Falcons defense, I guess. But no, J.C. Horn is helping out that team. Like he's taking on wide receiver 1s out the gate, I think, which is
for sure,
which is impressive, and I think he has the talent to do it. Now going here at 11. Oh, this is tough for the Giants. I'm looking at the players available, right? I'm like thinking like on the fly right now. I am going to take Jalen Waddle.
Wow.
Hear me out.
Different than your pick last time.
Yeah. Like I said, this is our second time recording this because we didn't know what we were doing the first time. But yeah, originally I had Micah Parsons going here, which I still think is fine. And I was actually looking at tape now, and Micah Parsons is a mixed bag as far as people like analyzing him. Some people are really high on him, and some people don't even think he's worth a first round selection, especially with the off the field stuff.
Wait. Before you picked Waddle over Smith?
Yes.
Okay.
Now hear me out.
I'll let you finish. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you finish. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had
I
just processed what
and I remember last time we had Waddle slide to the Raiders at 17.
Yeah.
Which thinking that the Raiders also signed John Brown, so they'd have John Brown, Jalen Waddle, and Henry Ruggs. That is literally just the cheesiest Madden roster of all time. That's like 99 speed across the board. Like, I don't know about you, but that would just be in like, how do you stop like 4 2s and 4 3s all across the board?
You don't really have a big body like possession type receiver, but I mean,
what would it matter?
I don't.
You also have what? You'd have Darren Waller at 6'6", who also
there's your possession receiver right there.
But he's also that's also one of the he's probably one of the fastest tight ends in the league. So
oh yeah, for sure.
So that's just speed, which we know the Raiders love. So unfortunately, Raiders, y'all don't get your 4-2 guy. But the Giants just went out. They signed Kenny Golladay, and then, look, I know they have Darius Slayton. I know they have Sterling Shepard. I know they're trying to give a flyer to John Ross. And this is not a John Ross pick. Jalen Waddle is more established as a receiver than John Ross was at Washington, and that's what I think they're lacking. They're lacking that. Look, their receivers are fine, but Jalen Waddle has the potential to be really good. Like, I know he's got that type of speed, but I think he can run a full route tree, which he did at Alabama. He made, he wasn't just running goes all the time, which even when he was excellent at that. And if he's healthy last year, Devontae Smith doesn't win the Heisman. And I feel like Giants fans would want this to be a Jalen Waddle selection here too. Just knowing, think about that. Kenny Golladay, your ex, he can't separate. Who can separate? Jalen Waddle. And you have Sterling Shepard, and you have, I like Darius Slayton more than Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard can't stay on the field. But think about that as your top 3 guys with Sterling Shepard as a quality 4. We just talked about the Broncos having 4 good receivers. Yep. Why not have the Giants go receiver here and get 3 established good receivers now, as opposed to 1 good receiver and like 3 fine guys. You know what I mean?
I don't hate it. I mean, surround Daniel Jones with all the pieces that he can have to succeed. We both love the work that man Joe Judge has done for that squad, especially that defense.
Culture shift right there.
Yeah, for sure. You really have done a lot of moves in the offseason, like Adoree Jackson, getting that defense right. So why not in the first one? For the New York lovers, give them something to really cheer for. Jalen Waddle. I know people still miss Odell Beckham.
They do.
Get Kenny Galladay, and Kenny Galladay's cool. I'm a big fan of his. He makes a lot of tough catches, but like you said before, he's not really a separator.
Yeah.
I really feel like if Jalen Waddle's on the field, you have to account for that type of speed. That's world-class speed right there. Yeah. So I feel like, hey, man, that's a really good, very good pick that you made.
Yeah. I think when I explained it more, I liked it more and more as I kept talking about it.
Yeah.
Definitely more than Micah Parsons. I was kind of struggling with Micah Parsons, and I think, honestly, schematically, I actually think he can fit better in other spots. And the reason why I didn't pick him here again is Blake Martinez is good as well. He had a pretty solid year last year. Zone-wise, he can't cover. Blake Martinez cannot cover. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't get any better with coverage if you had Micah Parsons.
True.
He's a downfield. You want him blitzing, coming down to tackle the running back in the backfield. You want to take advantage of his speed and his ability to just run straight past the line of scrimmage, maybe even come off the edge. He's shown a little bit of an ability to rush the passer. You don't want him playing out in coverage. You don't. Even though he has the speed to do it, even the change of direction, he's agile. He didn't flash that at Penn State. He didn't show he could be a good cover guy. And I think there's a lot better coverage linebackers in this draft, especially one that I'm really high on. And I guess I'm drafting again for the Philadelphia Eagles at 12.
And I think we all know what you're doing here.
The Eagles can't make the same mistake they always make. They got to take the Heisman here in Devontae Smith. I think, honestly, you probably have more to say about this than I do. I think you really hit the nail on the head last time because I made this pick for them last time as well. First of all, I mean, he won the Heisman. Why not? Right? You're the Eagles. You don't have good receivers. You don't. You need to take a receiver round one. You've missed a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And although I think Rager, he was hurt a decent bit. He didn't really have much of a fair chance. He had inconsistent, shaky quarterback play. This will help him out as a receiver. He can be a deep threat. He runs a pretty fast 40. He's got good on the field speed, and I think
he can run those routes, man.
Yeah, Devontae Smith complements him more, and it gives Jalen Hurts a guy that is just good. I don't know. I don't really know how to.
And yeah,
I know
there's nothing else for me to add. This is such the obvious pick to make. Hopefully that coaching staff was playing rock paper scissors with them to make sure that he's competitive.
Yeah.
That's stupid. The fact that the head coach actually, I don't even know his name. I don't even want to say it, but the fact that he openly said that in a press conference,
good luck,
man.
Eagles. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Eagles, man. You guys are still living. It's so obvious the organization is still living off your Super Bowl, and I feel totally bad for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
one other thing I have to say, people are concerned about his size. I know he actually just measured in at 166 pounds, which is 4 pounds lighter than the 170 that people were already kind of terrified of. But, he won the Heisman at 170 pounds in the SEC against good... Look, I just gave all that praise to J.C. Horn. He can't cover Devontae Smith. Who can cover... You can't... He doesn't have the size. He might get rocked. You might question his durability, but as far as the tape and what his production on the field, I still love Devontae Smith here, and I think the Eagles cannot miss on this, which I would hate for, to see Washington have to line up against Devontae Smith. I hate the fact that I think
that's a lot of weapons in the NFC East, a lot of receivers.
Yep.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith both going to 2 divisional rivals. Sucks. Would not want to see this happen because I want to see them fail, but I'm the GMs of these teams, and I think this is where I'd want to go.
Now
honestly, finally you can make a pick. Give me a break.
Come on.
I'm looking at
he needs a sub, coach. Come on.
For real.
Honestly, with the picks that you surprisingly made, it switched the decision that I thought I was going to make.
Okay.
It says here apparently the team's personnel focus guy is a former quarterback for the Chargers. So I was thinking, maybe he's going to benefit, your boy Justin Herbert. He's the guy. He's got to shock the whole world. He's very first game, almost beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
This man is a legit baller, a future star, a future top 5 quarterback. Mm-hmm. That's what he showed us.
He did.
But with the guy like Patrick Surtain still on the board.
You love Patrick Surtain.
Bro, that man is a baller, man. Give me Patrick Surtain at 13. I'm sorry. You lost Casey Hayward, who's been one of the more consistent corners for the past, 5 years, you would say? past couple years for them, especially for the Chargers.
Very
you know?
underappreciated, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Line up in the slot. Line him up in the outside numbers, bro. He will do his best to. I don't think any corner could truly lock up if your name isn't Jalen Ramsey, but he can slow a corner down. No, a slow receiver down. And I just think the value that Surtain brings you, just the. How should I say? Wouldn't you say that he's the best all around corner in the draft?
I probably would. I think I would.
Great technique.
I think he's better as far as zone goes than J.C. Horn, honestly.
I don't think athletically he's there, but
yeah,
6'2", big body, I just really for me, it's just Surtain to me, honestly. I know you're a big J.C. Horns guy, but apparently not everybody's a big J.C. Horn guy because everyone's talking about this man Surtain. And honestly, if he's there at 13, especially in that division, you gotta take him, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think people are going to be split between the two corners. We just don't know which teams are going to be split between them. So you could very well be right. I think Surtain is good enough to definitely go off the board at 10 of the Cowboys. I just personally like J.C. Horn better. But yeah, Patrick Surtain, he had very consistent technique. He didn't get beat like ever. And I think you made this point earlier. The Chargers did go out and get Corey Linsley. They signed him. So that did help shore up the O-line. Granted, not at tackle, which is probably where I would have gone here. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Why not? I'm looking at the secondary now. You got Derwin James. They did sign Chris Harris. Nazir Adderley is there. Michael Davis, though. Yeah, getting a corner here is definitely not a bad pick. And why not? Why not? Defense wins championships, like they said. So, it puts pressure off the quarterback when you have a strong defense behind them. And yeah, I think corner is a relatively big need. I don't hate that pick.
I have his approval, so we're good.
No, you're good there. But here at 14, now the Vikings are another team that I feel like really underperformed last year, and I feel like a big reason for that is because so much of their defense was out last year. Like they had, I forgot the number, but they had so many guys who were just like not playing on defense. I think they had some people opt out. They had some people like in and out of the lineup with injuries and whatnot. So, it's saying their big need is guard. Let me pull up their depth chart real quick. Look, I got time. I'm on the board here. Teams take the full 10 minutes.
That is true.
Teams take the full 10 minutes.
I hate about it, man.
Oh, God. The draft is going to take like 3 hours, round one. They always take so long. Let me see. Look, this roster is great. It's so good. Wide receiver, they're fine, I think. Just Thielen and Jefferson, you're straight. Okay. You know what? I know I'm going to kind of contradict myself here. I did just say that defense is going to come out swinging. I think they have a very talented defense. Like, if you just pull it up, they just signed Patrick Peterson, who I think still has a couple good years left. Now, granted, they had to cut, didn't they cut Gladney after that? I don't know if he got cut, but
yeah.
So he's cut, yeah. He's still popping up here on the depth chart, but I was pretty sure they cut him. Mackenzie Alexander, Mike Hughes, they spent a first-rounder on a few years back out of UCF. Now, okay, corner is probably relatively big need. But another thing I see here, that D-line looks pretty solid, but I'm not a big believer in Stephen Weatherly, and I'm a big believer in this guy who I'm about to take here. I'm going to take Jalen Phillips, edge out of Miami, if I'm the Vikings, if I'm in the Vikings situation. Now, here's the thing with Jalen Phillips. If you don't have his injury history, he can go top 10 very easily. And especially in a class, look, this is a weak edge class, in my opinion. Maybe not weak per se, but it just lacks the top-end pass rushers that you like. Like the Myles Garretts, the Chase Youngs, the guys you take that high. I think Jalen Phillips is the closest thing to that out of anyone here. And if you can get the fullest out of Jalen Phillips, look, he's the most explosive edge rusher. And he has the combination of athleticism and technique off the edge. He's got the most of, I think. He's the most consistent pass rusher. He also is pretty solid against the run. I just love him for the 4-3 Vikings here. I think, look, so now if we're talking about this depth chart, let me go back to it. You got Danielle Hunter, Michael Pierce, Dalvin Tomlinson, and now you have Jalen Phillips. That is a scary D-line. And this is coming from a guy who knows what having a good D-line can do for your team, it helps out that whole defense, which is already, I say, pretty good. That defense could be so scary, right? And I think that helps out this.
Pair him with Hunter, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That's crazy to me. And look, the offense is fine, and the defense underperformed. Now you get an additional piece to that defense where you have players coming back, you have players being healthy. That defense can be scary. Secondary might be but you still have Harrison Smith and you have Patrick Peterson. It's not terrible. Beast linebackers. I love this pick. The more I talk about it, like I said, this was with the same with the Jalen Waddle pick. The more I talk about it, the more I love it. Jalen Phillips to Minnesota. I think if he's there, why not take a flyer on him?
Okay, and that moves us to the 15th pick. I mean, you honestly took everything out of mine. Yeah.
I was kind of going off there.
Sometimes you just word it so good, it's like, yeah, on to the next. You know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Executed it.
No, that was you with Rashawn Slater. I'm like, yeah, you got it. Mm-hmm. Good job.
I think I may surprise you with this, but I don't know. I mean, okay, the Patriots, they spent a good amount of money on the offense. They got their receivers, they got their tight end.
Yeah, Bill Belichick was spending that stimmy. He was really going crazy.
He was spending bills, bro. He was living up to his name, literally. And even like signed Judon, but I don't think that's the only linebacker that they take. Okay. I think they take Micah Parsons, bro.
Whoa.
I think they take Micah Parsons, man. Hear me out.
Okay.
What does Bill Belichick love on defense? He loves if you're versatile. He loves if you can switch it up and make the defense keep the offense guessing,
Noy, yeah.
I know they got Calvin Noy.
Well, they don't have him. Oh, wait, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they got him
I know they got Calvin Noy, and I know that they had Dante Hightower. I know he sat out a year. And you have Bentley. You have Judon.
Too. Damn,
yeah.
Linebackers. Wow.
But, I mean, I feel like they're secondary straight. I mean, you got what? You spent your first-round pick, or was it first or second-round pick on Kyle Duggar last year?
No, I think it was the second. It was second, yeah.
It was second, yeah, and you got Jalen Mills. He loves the versatility, especially in the secondary. Mm-hmm. So why not do that also in the front seven? I just feel like you place this man anywhere on the field, just tell him to go and run and just smash whatever is holding that rock. Yeah. I feel like Bill Belichick just loves that.
He'd get the best out of him, I think.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like in that system, he could also learn a thing or two from Calvin Noy. He can learn a thing or two from Dante Hightower, man. See?
I don't know.
You like it?
I don't know if I've seen this mocked a lot. Like, I have looked at a lot of mock drafts. I don't know if I see this mocked a lot.
Just an athlete, man. I could just imagine him in a New England.
Yeah, like if you could you could run some special defensive sets.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
Because honestly, when you look at it, like,
I think,
the receivers with that, like, sitting at 15, I don't think there's a receiver right now I'd take at 15 with all those gone. And I feel like on the offense, that's all you really take. Maybe I could have went Najee Harris. I could have maybe went Najee Harris. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe I really could have went Najee Harris. But that man loves his defense.
Yeah.
And I feel like I never really see him go skill position that early. I mean, he did pick Sony Michel, but that was toward the later end,
Yeah.
So
I like this pick a lot. I do. I know you were trying to talk yourself out of it. I love this pick. Here's the thing about the Patriots depth chart that I'm looking at now. Bentley is actually not terrible, right? I don't know if he'd play there outside, or I guess inside. Like and like you said, he's special. Like, you could just kind of play him wherever. That's probably where I would line him up, inside linebacker next to Hightower. Just kind of reduce his role a little bit. You have Hightower there. You have, weak side linebacker. You have Matt Judon. You got Kyle Van Noy. So you're surrounded by three other really good linebackers. Now, Bentley, like I said, Bentley is fine, but these other three guys are straight athletes. Maybe Hightower, he's older now. He might lack that. But even Raekwon McMillan behind him, that's another guy blazing fast. Now you got speed, and if Bill Belichick can get the most out of an athlete, watch out. Watch out. That's a Bill Belichick move right there. That was
my inner Bill coming out, man. He just couldn't. Yeah. He couldn't stay inside, man. Which I can't even speak. Just the thought of just that being a possibility. Just, man, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna surprise him with this one.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't on the board here last time.
Yeah.
I know you picked for the Patriots last time, and I think you took Newsome last time. This is, I think, a better pick. Now, I think Newsome isn't terrible as a pick here. I do like that pick a lot. I don't know if you see it, but if they can't trade down or they don't really care about quarterback, they still want to go with Cam Newton for another year, why not? I like that pick a lot.
Yes, sir. I got his approval again. Let's go, man.
I don't know if we're gonna get the PFF grades this time since we're using a different mock.
Oh yeah. I would love to see that grade.
Whatever.
Man.
PFF was tripping.
Yeah, FPFF sometimes.
Yeah,
man.
PFF was tripping on that. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not going where I went last time here. Although I do think it's not a bad pick. What I went last time. I almost talked myself out of it by saying it's a very expendable position. This is a position that is not expendable. Now, I think the Cardinals are set at receiver, right? They just signed AJ Green. They have D-Hop. They have Christian Kirk. You also have a good quarterback, obviously. I'm a huge believer in Kyler Murray. I don't think running back is as big of a need. I think that defense needs some help. That secondary needs some help. You just lost Pat Pete.
Oh, yeah,
was
true.
Crazy for him. And this is a guy who, when he's healthy, is a beast. All right?
Oh.
I'm going to make it simple. It says here they're top me as cornerback. I'm going to take Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. Now, the thing with Caleb Farley is you're very worried about his durability. He didn't play at all last year. But in what I think they said there's like a 20% chance he has to get like an additional surgery on his back or something crazy like that, which is kind of scary. But if you get the player Caleb Farley, you get him healthy, that is a huge help to that secondary. I know you got Budda Baker. Let me look at their secondary right now. I'm going to pull up the depth chart. Here we go. I got it right here. Let's see. Secondary. Yeah, you just signed J.J. Watt. You still have Chandler Jones. That pass rush is looking great.
Yes, sir.
Interior, probably could be better. You have Isaiah Simmons. Jordan Hicks is, he's hit or miss sometimes. Robert Alford and Malcolm Butler as your two corners right now. It's showing here. Byron Murphy, I think Byron Murphy's a great slot corner, but you're not going to play him on the outside. Wow, Picasso Nelson. Do you see that? Do you see? Look,
just hearing that name.
His name is Picasso.
Wow.
Picasso Nelson Jr.
People will name their children anything.
Wait, okay, so you're a Falcons fan. Robert Alford.
Stop. Right no.
Okay.
He's not the answer, man.
So Caleb Farley's
yes.
Okay.
Without question.
Thank you. Caleb Farley, when he's healthy, he's got size. I think he's like 6'2", 2 something.
I love big corners, man.
But here's the thing, most time when you get a big corner, like even Patrick Surtain, he's a big corner. Good, not great athleticism. Caleb Farley is a great athlete, an exceptional athlete. He's got great makeup speed. He can run with the best runners, speed guys in the league, and he's also bigger than them. I think that combination, a lot of people love that big physical but also speedy guy at receiver. Having a big physical speedy guy at corner that can match up with those types of players, I think that helps neutralize some of those kinds of threats. Now, I'm not saying he's going to neutralize someone in his division like DK Metcalf because that man is just a freak of nature, but it might help. You never know. He's nah. I mean, it's DK. Look, I think this is a good pick, honestly. I think he's the best corner available here. I'm concerned with the injury history, just like I was with Jalen Phillips. Well, I'm making a lot of risks today, aren't I? Risky picks. But if you get the player that people are expecting Caleb Farley to be, that really eases the pain of losing Patrick Peterson here, I think.
Yeah, true.
So I like this pick. All right, yeah. I don't know if you have anything to add to that. Once again, I was just
honestly
rambling.
No. I mean,
I'm having fun here.
The only thing running through my mind was Harris, because that's who we thought it was such a great pick. But looking back on it, they didn't really address that cornerback position. And honestly,
they got Chase Edmonds and James Conner still. I think we forgot.
Chase Edmonds, yeah.
Yeah, we
Chase
forgot
Edmonds
how good Chase Edmonds is, and I think it's a good 1-2 punch. Edmonds and Conner complement each other very well. So
yeah, the offense is pretty good. I mean, if they wanted to go O-line, then they could, but that's really all they need.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm looking at the O-line,
especially on the offensive side. I mean, they're pretty stacked. Just go straight defense, honestly. Just take a pick O-lineman and pick a running back in like the 6th. Yeah, everything else go to defense. But 17th pick, it is Las Vegas, there's a lot to do. You can gamble. You can do whatever you want, strip clubs, blah, 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 blah. You need the big names to draw that attention for fans to come in, but that's not the case. Yeah. That's not the case here. I feel like you need O-linemen.
Tackle is a big need here.
And just like how you said,
They did have a good O-line, but I think, didn't they have a tackle?
they trade away Trent Brown to the Patriots.
Yeah,
so I
you're right.
really feel like if I'm John Gruden, I just want someone who's nasty. Just nasty.
Hold on.
Nasty. Just like you said, I really looked into it. This man is nasty. This man,
If he's who you're
Tevin
thinking
Jenkins,
of,
man.
Tevin Jenkins.
Out of Oklahoma State. Darsaw maybe, but give me this, man. I just feel like I'm not trying to, but it's just a turn on for, that head coach.
Yeah.
John Gruden.
You're right.
He would
That's
love
a good
just
point.
a nasty, just physical, really junkyard type of built guy. He's just in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to just hit you in the mouth. And that's what you need. You need that. They're kind of a finesse team, a fast team, kind of like Kansas City. That's what they need. They need someone that's really nasty too. But, the Raiders are going to one-up them with this one. And just the strength that he's able to have, I really feel like it would just be a really it's a match made in heaven for John Gruden and for Jenkins too.
Yeah, it's I'm
Bring
looking
some
at it
grittiness
here.
to the team.
He was he was the number one highest graded run blocker. Thinking about that run game, right? Raiders rely pretty heavily on that run game. That's why Henry Ruggs, I think, was underutilized. And looking at it here, 36 reps, 225. That boy's strong.
That boy's strong.
That boy's strong. He lifts. He's in the gym. But not really physical in the run game. And good in pass pro, too, I think, at Oklahoma State. He's probably the guy who I watched the most as far as offensive linemen, maybe even highlights, if you can call them offensive lineman highlights, because he was the most fun to watch. Now, Penei Sewell, when he played, yeah. But I think, he took the year off last year at Oregon. So, I love that pick, man. Wow. And that's another one that I don't seeing mocked too much. But, yeah, Trent Brown's gone. Tackle's a pretty big need. And you just get a dog in Tevin Jenkins. I like that pick. That's
what it's all about, man. We kind of, we try to do the unexpected, at the same time. But it is our opinion at the end of the day.
The unexpected. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. We are the GMs here. And if I'm the GM, you kind of talked me into that. You did. Tevin Jenkins. Now, granted, I think edge is kind of a big need for the Raiders. I think I was looking into it, Max Crosby. I do like Max Crosby a lot. He had to step down from his rookie season, but some people just have sophomore slumps. I think he'll bounce back. But you also have, what's his name out of Clemson a while back? Farrell? Cleveland Farrell. Yeah. He's just been really inconsistent. I think you're lacking a pass rush there enough, but I don't hate that pick. I might go somewhere else there, but I don't hate that pick. But now, I'm the Dolphins. Like I said, team with very little holes. Man. I love Tua, dude. I do love Tua. I'm not going quarterback here, by the way. I'm not.
Okay. I was like, yeah. You love him so much.
I'm not trying to set that up to say I'm going. But here's the thing: you need to see what you have in Tua. I think he has a short leash.
I see where you're going with this.
He has a short leash. You do know where I'm going with this. I think this makes more sense. This would make more sense as far as need. That Dolphins defense, I don't think they overperformed. I think the talent on that roster performed the way it was supposed to. Brian Flores is an excellent defensive coach. He's just an excellent all-around coach. I love Brian Flores. And now the offense, you have Preston Williams. Now you have Jamar Chase. You also have Devontae Parker, who I think Devontae Parker's pretty solid. You have 3 solid receivers. Well,
Will Fuller.
Yeah. Oh, Will Fuller. Yeah.
Got another 4. That's another team with 4. Gesicki.
Yeah, you're right. Mike Gesicki at tight end. I love Gesicki too. That's an athlete. He made some catches. It seems like every game. He'd have games where he'd get 6 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Then he'd have other games where he'd just catch 1 pass for 10 yards or 2 passes for 30 yards.
Yep.
But it seems like every time those catches are big-bodied, contested catches. That offense is scary. However, I think they lack playmaking out of the backfield. Myles Gaskin is good. He is. But he's not excellent. He's not a dynamic number 1 running back. Now, I know I just said it's a very expendable position. It's not something you need, especially not round 1. I think you can get a fine running back. Look, a lot of the guys right now weren't first-round picks as far as top running backs. But the best running back right now was the number 8th overall pick to the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. Give me Najee Harris.
I like it. Pair him with this teammate.
Give
I
me
love
Najee
it, man.
Harris. This pick, you go Chase and Najee Harris. Tua has no excuses. He has to ball out.
This is honestly probably the best situation a young QB
The O-line is solid.
ever, man.
The O-line is fine. You have a very good defense to carry you. Now you have Jamar Chase. You have Preston Williams, who I think people just sleep on Preston Williams. He's a very good big body receiver.
Yeah.
Doesn't separate, but we know you don't have to be a great separator sometimes at the wide receiver position. I love this pick for the Dolphins.
Here's the thing, though. If he gets all those pieces, do you think he's gonna live up to the hype?
I have no
Compared to Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert?
I really don't have.
That's a really interesting conversation.
because some quarterbacks they take a while to like get there. Peyton Manning was terrible his rookie year. I mean, he threw a decent bit of touchdowns, but he wasn't very.
He threw the most interceptions ever by a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, he threw a lot of picks. People were kind of skeptical, but they gave him time. But I think the Dolphins are in a win now mode with that roster. I know they have young pieces, but they don't want to lose these guys to free agency. They're gonna have to eventually pay them. Give me Najee Harris. Why not? Now you have him.
I love it, man.
And Gaskin, I think Gaskin's better suited to be a number 2.
A quick change of pace.
Yeah. But Najee Harris does everything Gaskin does. Now, granted, he doesn't have the top end speed of a guy like Travis Etienne, but he's probably one of the best. Well, he is one of the best pass catching backs, despite his size. He's built like a power back. He's damn near built like an old fullback, but he can run. He'll truck you. He's got good elusiveness, right? He'll juke. He'll hurdle.
He's a jack of all trades, man.
He's just a walking like highlight. He is. He'll make you miss. He'll truck through you. He'll catch the ball in the backfield. I think he's a true number 1 running back in this league, and I love him for the Dolphins here. And I think that just turns that offense, just him and Chase. Whew.
That'd be nasty, man.
And now I'm sitting here at 19.
I already know.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I already know.
Let me
just click it already.
Yeah, you can click it. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure who's even listening to this right now. But for y'all watching, I recommend y'all check out a guy named Brett Coleman. I think he has the best player analysis on YouTube. And this is a guy he is extremely high on.
That's Mel Kiper Jr., bro.
Yeah. No,
Bro, he makes Mel Kiper of YouTube, but actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's actually good.
He's not just for entertainment.
Except quarterbacks. He misses on quarterback. He thought Christian Hackenberg was like the next big thing.
Yeah, no.
He admits that, though. He admits he misses on quarterbacks, but he hits on safeties so well. He calls all the safeties. Eddie Jackson, he called
Eddie
that.
Jackson's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
I love, bro, one of my favorite players in the league.
He's the guy who I take first. And I think, he went late.
He went 4th round.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that, yeah. He's high on Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK is what I like to call him. And his fit for Washington, I love. He's got very good like short area quickness. And our front 7, well, let's just say this. We have arguably the best defensive line in the league. We got first-round picks everywhere, and they're all great. Chase Young, you got Montez Sweat, you got Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis, Deron Payne. That's 5 defensive linemen who are amazing. But linebacker is kind of weak. We are getting Sean Dion Hamilton back. I think he opted out. He put on good size. I think he could surprise people this year. I actually think I love his upside. In our 4-3, I don't know if he really had the opportunity to really play. He hasn't had much of an opportunity to play. But you pair him with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Cole Holcomb, that is athletes. I'm tired of seeing John Bostic slow ass just waltzing around. Look, I do like John Bostic. I just think he's getting up there in age, and I don't know. I want to see a dominant linebacker. What he can do with a great defensive line, I think that turns our front 7 into like probably maybe the best front 7.
Sometimes you just need that one middle linebacker, and it just changes everything because they're the quarterback of the defense, man. It just changes everything.
Yeah.
Look at the Bucks.
Yeah,
literally.
Now, before we went out and signed Curtis Samuel and Adam Humphries, I would for sure go wide receiver here. But we now have Curtis Samuel and Adam Humphries, and we haven't really addressed linebacker, and this is something that I've wanted to see, just a dominant linebacker.
Build onto the strength, man. Because
I
honestly,
love
the
defense,
only thing that could really put you guys over the top on offense is a legit quarterback, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
but Fitzmagic, man. I think he's a good short-term option. I think he is. And I think
for sure.
I think this is the year he finally makes the playoffs. Even when he went 10-6 with the Jets, he didn't make the playoffs. The Steelers.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love that team.
But he went 10-6 with the Jets. I mean, that Jets team was low-key not that bad, but I think he makes it this year. Who knows? I'm just excited for our future, though. I think we're a team that's not necessarily win now, but we're win soon.
Mm-hmm.
We're win soon.
Win
soon.
I just think if you guys make the playoffs again, which I think you guys will, no team wants to see you guys again.
Yeah,
no team.
I think we're scary. Man. This is the first time I've been excited for my team. It's a different feeling thinking we have a competent front office.
I will guess it's honestly been the first time you've been this excited ever since the 2012 season, right?
Yeah. That was when I got into football. RG3 really got me into like football. Him and Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris,
yeah.
Bro, yeah.
God, that was so much fun.
Alfred Morris, fun fact, was literally, it was like him and Arian Foster. Like, Arian Foster is my brother's favorite running back, and Alfred Morris is my favorite.
Yeah.
I loved him, man.
Yeah. And I still love RG3 too. I think injuries really messed him up, but he's such a good guy off the field. He really is. Like, I still follow him on Instagram. I just wish nothing but the best for that man.
Yeah,
like, he has no hard feelings for us, which he probably should. Like, I would. But he doesn't show it, and he just stays professional, and I think that's why he's still in the league. He lasted longer than Luck, which I think a lot of people don't notice. But, yeah, I know that we kind of got off track there.
Yeah. But. With the 20th pick in the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears, they could go quarterback, pass rusher, wide receiver, or corner,
Yeah, they could.
But that's why I'm going to stick with corner. And I'm getting my boy Greg Newsome.
I
think
finally I can talk about this man.
Coming from a Falcons fan, Desmond Trufant is not the answer whatsoever. This man, no. I'm sorry. And Jalen Johnson, no.
Really? You don't like Jalen Johnson?
I just don't want him next to Desmond Trufant. He's going to suffer.
That's fair.
He's going to suffer.
Eddie
Jackson, give my man some help too. Like that front four already with Kulimak alone with his one arm throwing 300-pound lineman.
Mm-hmm. I do like Jalen Johnson though.
The secondary is going to be fine. Yeah. But Greg Newsome, man. That's where I go.
Yeah.
I just think it's really a match made in heaven because honestly, with the offense, regarding the offense, I don't think drafting in the first round necessarily would put you over the edge because you have what?
I'm looking at the
Trubisky and
who you talking about? The Bears?
Yeah, the Bears. Oh, they didn't have Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky's on he's on the Bills now. They got Dalton. They got Red.
Oh yeah, you got Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. Like, come on now. Like, what are you doing? Actually, even if you draft someone, honestly, why would I waste the pick on an offensive lineman when I know I'm not really even protecting an actual asset? You know,
I actually think their O-line is not as bad as people say it is either. I think it just looked worse with Trubisky behind it.
Yeah. He probably held the ball too long, probably. But give me Greg Newsome, man. And you can go into the details with him because you know more about him than me.
No, I thought I knew about Greg Newsome before, but I've done even more, because looking at the corners, obviously I followed J.C. Horn throughout his whole career at South Carolina, and he took a big leap this year. I didn't even know he would be going round one when he came out of high school, but he's built different. Patrick Surtain, I mean, that's a Bama corner. You always have one, right? But I was like, I don't. And obviously, Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. I try to follow the Virginia colleges. I don't really have one, because I kind of got into the college football scene late. So I was following a little bit of Liberty last year. I know they beat Virginia Tech, because Malik Willis. I was showing you Malik Willis highlights out of Liberty quarterback. Getting off topic, but
man's nasty, man.
I mean, next year, watch out. Hey. Y'all watching or listening to this now, don't sleep on Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. He was putting up numbers last year. Anyways, Greg Newsome, let's get back into it. Yeah, he has the best feet in the draft. And what I mean by that is he's able to change his course very easily. Like he can be moving one way and a wide receiver will make a crazy break in on a route and he'll be right there with him. Like he can match a receiver step for step. And depending on what you value in a corner, some people might have Greg Newsome, believe it or not, as their cornerback one. Because as far as technique goes, feet are important for corners. You want your cornerback to be able to stay with, whoever they're matched up with.
Nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Nowadays, for sure.
And what's really dope about Greg Newsome is Northwestern used him a lot in zone. But in the limited snaps he played in press man, and I know I said J.C. Horn is your press man guy. He played very well in press man in the very limited snaps he got there. So if you can put him in Chicago, he has help with Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson was an excellent cornerback last year. I think he's got an excellent future, especially in that secondary. I think that's why they were cool with letting Kyle Fuller go, because they're like, all right, we don't need to pay him. We can maybe draft a guy like Greg Newsome who can come in and play very similarly to Kyle Fuller. I think that's a very good comp for him, even though Greg Newsome doesn't have the interception numbers that you're probably looking for, like Kyle Fuller does. He makes plays on the ball consistently, and there's not a lot of bad tape on Greg Newsome. Like, even if you go through film, if you're one of those guys who's nitpicky on film and you're looking, I don't really see a lot of holes in his game. Maybe his makeup speed, I guess, but he's an athlete. He is. And he's shifty. He can keep up. I love that for the Bears. That's exactly where I would have gone. Yeah, let me put him up here.
Despite it only being 6 games played in 2020, 93 yards and only 5 first downs on 223 coverage snaps, man. That is a straight baller.
Yeah.
And he made 8 plays on the ball. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
You can
play him anywhere.
Yeah.
You can play him anywhere. Any scheme, you can line him at the corner. He's a very safe cornerback prospect, I think. And I think the Bears have had enough whiffs that they need to take a safe player that they know can contribute day one. Colts at 21. Wow. I'm kind of stuck here. Colts are another team, and I know I keep saying this. I said this about the Dolphins. I said this about the Vikings. I don't think they have a lot of holes. I think that's another team that just, I don't know. I don't know what they're missing. I know they dealt with some injuries last year at wide receiver.
They were my dark horse team, and they almost beat the Bills. Almost.
Yeah.
I love
what did
that
they
team.
Finish? 10-6 or 11-5? I forgot.
I think they finished 10-6.
10-6. That's a good record.
I think they finished 10-6.
Yeah.
Let me see.
That's borderline playoff team, and they were kind of
or I think they both didn't they both finish like 11-5.
Oh yeah, weren't they 11-5?
Yeah. They both tied 11-5. Yeah. Wow.
Are you seeing it now? Was it 11?
Yeah, they both finished.
Look,
11-5.
that's a good record, and
the Titans,
you got to remember
the
they dropped that first game to the Jaguars. They were the only team that lost to the Jaguars last year. If they don't drop that game week 1, they make the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're a team that's scary. Like that defense. I mean, what's his name? Darius Leonard. Come on now, beast linebacker. You don't need linebacker. Edge. I don't think you really need edge. I need to look at this depth chart, man. This is a team I'm struggling with. Let's see. No, I'm not struggling with this. Give me Christian Darrisaw. They need tackle. I'm looking at it now. Look, you just signed Carson Wentz. You have T.Y., Michael Pittman, and Paris Campbell. That's a pretty solid receiving core.
Yeah.
I like that.
Help Carson Wentz.
Yeah, help Carson Wentz. Keep him upright. He was struggling with that O-line in Philly. Wasn't he the most sacked quarterback last year? So
protect him, man, because he's also injury prone too. You're reuniting him with Frank Reich. That defense is legit. Why not bolster up that O line? Darrisaw fell all the way down to you at 22. Why not?
Yeah, 20.
Help bolster up the O line. That's the strength of your team. Keep that strength going.
Yeah.
Add on to your strength.
Even Jack Doyle and Noelle Cox are fine at tight end, but I'm not starting Sam Tevi at left tackle.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
can't do it.
I'm not doing that. And that defense looks fine. I think that was a pretty easy pick. I'm not going to go too in depth. I think Darrisaw, some people have him going in like the teens. I think he's great. Here at 21. That's good value for the Colts for sure.
Yes, sir. And once again, the Titans.
I think this is a fun team.
I think, you know what? I think it's a no-brainer for me. I'm going to take Asante Samuel. That is my pick. I'm going cornerback.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
Yes. Hear me out. They lost Adoree Jackson, Malcolm Butler, and Desmond King.
That's true.
All 3 of them.
Oh, they need
and granted, you are expecting a breakout year from Christian Fulton. I do like Fulton.
Yeah, Christian Fulton.
He is poised for a breakout season, but Janoris Jenkins, if he's starting for you, honestly, I just don't see it. Yeah. This man, I feel like the years are catching up to my man's, and I just feel like Asante Samuel, if he wasn't what is it 5'10", if it wasn't for his size, I really feel like that's the only thing that's really making teams hesitant to really take a chance on him. Yeah. Maybe not as an outside, but maybe in the slot, because that's their bread and butter for the Titans. You signed Malcolm Butler to that lucrative contract because he's a slot corner. Like he's not really an outside type guy, so why not get his replacement? I mean, you could go a various of ways because they do still need an edge. I know you got Bud Dupree, but you still need to bolster up that pass rush, and then you still need tight end and wide receiver. But this is a very wide receiver heavy class. You have your bona fide number one. You don't need to go wide receiver.
Yeah.
Tight end, honestly, you could go get that boy Pat. That boy Pat that you love. But honestly,
funny how you mentioned that.
I mean, I'm just throwing the alley-oop, bro. I'm throwing the lob. As we say, throwing the lob.
Yep.
Which we should start saying, by the way. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Start saying that, by the way.
Start lobbing it up. Throwing lobs.
Yeah, throwing lobs. But I think cornerback is truly their biggest need. Honestly, you're going to have two new starting corners.
Yeah.
So I think
I love
you
him
need
in
to
the
kind
slot.
of build that chemistry.
I think Asante Samuel in the slot for the Titans is very fun.
Yes, exactly.
Jack Rabbit, you're right. He is getting up there in age. I think he can be a solid-ish 1, maybe. Christian Fulton, a solid-ish 2, maybe. But look, there's definitely value to slot corner. I mean, I remember Kendall Fuller before we traded him to the Chiefs for Alex Smith, and now we have him back again. He was pure slot guy, and it's a lot more valuable than people think. Chris Harris Jr., he's a guy who lives like exclusively inside the slot. You never play him on the outside, and he's consistently making Pro Bowls as a corner. I think having a
Casey Hayward too.
Yeah,
plays a lot of slot too.
Yeah, having a great slot corner is very valuable. I think there's value to be had.
Nickel Roby Coleman too. Shout out to him too.
Well, shout out to that penalty.
Yeah.
Shout out to absolutely bodying Tommy Lee Lewis or whatever his name was.
I don't care.
He's like
I really.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Never mind.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
He is a good slot corner though. He really is. He is. He's talented. But that's what I'm saying. You can get great value out of the slot corner position, and I think that's his big knock, his size. Asante Samuel. Other than that, he's great in coverage. His dad was a beast. Why not? I think that's a good pick. Shout out to Asante.
For that one crazy year when we went to the NFC Championship game and lost to Colin Kaepernick, shout out to him. I think he had like 6 interceptions for us, bro. That man balled out.
Yeah.
Man balled out.
Now, this is probably the pick that is going to confuse the most people, and you did just throw me the alley-oop here. I'm going to throw it down. I am taking, for the Jets at 23, look, you just took corner. You took Asante Samuel from me. That probably was honestly where I was going to go. I don't think there's another corner out of the corners available that's worth taking round 1. There's a lot of been corners. Corners have been going off. There's 4 corners off the board right here.
Mm-hmm, yep.
I think, actually, let me pull this back up. I think I was saying earlier, the Jets on paper are not as bad as people might think.
Yeah, you did say that.
Barring quarterback, look, wide receiver, Corey Davis just had a pretty decent breakout year. I don't think he eclipsed 1,000 yards, but he was very close. As a Washington fan, I know what Jamison Crowder can do. He's been the only consistent receiver since signing with the Jets, for the Jets. And now Denzel Mims, people are very high on Denzel Mims out of Baylor. He's exciting. He was hurt at the start of last year, but I think he showed some flashes. You need to give Denzel Mims a fair shot with a good quarterback. I mean, yeah, you did have Sam Darnold, who I think is a good quarterback, but just something about the coaching there, it just wasn't working. I don't think you can really evaluate anyone that was on the Jets last year and, judge them fairly.
Yeah.
So, look, I don't care who you are. I don't think Chris Herndon is an answer at tight end. There are some people who really believe Chris Herndon is the answer at tight end. Actually, I'm looking through this defense. Man, that Carl Lawson signing is criminally underrated. He's a guy who also he went to Milton. Shout out. From the area.
Shout out the locals, man.
From the area. I heard he's a great dude too. I heard Carl Lawson is just a super nice guy. So shout out to you, Carl Lawson. You're probably not listening to this, but good looks. Sheldon Rankins, Quinnen Williams in this 4-3. Look, I mean, Vinny Curry is the outlier, but I already completed D-line somewhere else. You threw me the lob, but I'm gonna reset the offense here.
Oh man!
By actually taking someone on defense.
This man
ironically
threw my lob away. Damn.
Give me Kwity Paye out of Michigan.
Kwity
Kwity Paye. Here's the thing. I think Kwity Paye is very interesting. He has a lot of pass rush upside, but I don't think he's the most polished pass rusher right now on film. But I think he makes plays in the run game. And you already have Quinnen Williams, who is a beast run defender, right? Sheldon Rankins and Carl Lawson are excellent defensive linemen. Why not complete that D-line? Like I said, I've already stated how good it feels to have a dominant D-line. And I think football has always been this way, and it still is. You win in the trenches. You win on the offensive, O-line, D-line. Look at the Bucs. One of the best O-lines, one of the best D-lines. Super Bowl champs. I think it's that simple. I think you need to establish your trenches. You need to establish your offensive and defensive lines. And I think if you take Kwity Paye and he can reach that upside, I mean, obviously with all these guys, if they reach that upside, they're a hit. But I think he's good enough in the run game now, and he has the athleticism that Vinny Curry doesn't have for this 4-3 defense that I like this fit. I just like his fit on the Jets D-line, and I think it takes the pressure off of him by not having to, really even play day one. You can sit behind Vinny Curry, or you can start and you can get helped out by having a Carl Lawson, by having a Quinnen Williams, a Sheldon Rankins. And I don't know why people are still thinking Quinnen Williams. Yeah, he was the 3rd overall pick a couple years back, and they're saying he's not living up as far as sack production. He's a dominant force in the interior defensive line. So I love this pick. I actually love Kwity Paye for the Jets. I was going to go a different direction. Let me put that lob away. I'll put it in my back pocket for later. For later. I think I'll hang on to it for now. And yeah, I'm gonna have Kwity Paye. If I'm the GM of the Jets, I think I like Kwity Paye here for sure. I think that's I just like the fit.
Okay. When it comes to those pass rushers, I'll just let you just take it. Like, you literally got it. I don't need to add anything to it. I mean, literally any player that you could have possibly said, I would have literally said, you know what? The Jets need everything. Yeah, so there's nothing really to.
Except receivers, surprisingly. I think they're set at receiver for now.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. They do have weapons, weirdly.
And depending on what you think about Chris Herndon, who knows? Maybe he takes that step that other people are saying he'll take, but he's been supposed to take that step since 2 years ago, so whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyways, sorry.
Continue. No, you're good. But for the Steelers, you had an aging quarterback. You have an immobile quarterback. You have no run game. Your defense, you could go with an outside linebacker to replace Bud Dupree, but you are high on that boy, Alex
Highsmith.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Alex Highsmith. I was telling you about
I could go running back. I could go with ETN, but honestly, what's the point of picking a running back if your O-line is just that bad? They need O-line help. They lost Pouncey, and they just need somebody to block for them. They need somebody. So give me Vera-Tucker.
Elijah Vera-Tucker.
I
know I feel like a lot of people are high on Elijah Vera-Tucker. He's not a guy who I've done a lot of film on, but I've just heard nothing but good things here. I think this is a very good it feels like a Steelers pick. Something about it. He's just consistent offensive lineman. He doesn't, I guess no drama. He's just consistent. Why not? I think that's a good. You worded it perfectly. They're losing O lineman. Big Ben is so old now. I think he's really coming down. I feel like he's retiring pretty soon.
You need an NFL ready O lineman, and I really think that's Elijah provides that for you.
Yeah, he is,
especially in that division too, because you got the Browns to worry about. That boy Trey Hendrickson got a lucrative contract with the Bengals now, and you got us to worry about the Ravens with Brandon Williams in them. So that's a really tough division that you got to make sure that you block.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, yep, that's it.
You have your receivers back too. The core of what you had last year. So I don't think you need to necessarily go receiver here. And like I said, it's a deep receiving class. So
facts. As long as that boy Deontay knows how to catch onto the ball and Juju stays focused, not on TikTok, and Chase Claypool takes that second step, because I'm a Claypool guy.
Claypool's
as long
beast,
as man. And I think one thing, people are very hard on them, but at the same time, they're all fairly young too, and there's not really a notable veteran receiver to really keep them in check and really teach them the ins and outs. I mean, their veteran that they looked up to was literally AB, Juju. Mm-hmm. That was his role model. So I mean, I don't think that's the best, but I mean, that's true. Honestly, I think they're set at receiver. They just need to figure out that quarterback situation, that running back situation, and the O-line situation.
Figure out the quarterback situation. What are they talking about? They just signed Dwayne Haskins.
There's a reason why he left your squad, and you're happy about that. There's a reason why, man. Jesus.
Gosh. What could have been. Anyways, so I got the Jaguars here at 25. Yeah, I don't think I'm switching this up from last time. Or do I? Let me click. Let me see this. Oof. Huh. Yeah, I'm the GM. I'm taking my time here.
Yeah,
wow, CJ Henderson and Shaquille Griffin, that's kind of a scary 1-2 punch at corner.
I like that.
CJ's a beast.
Yeah.
They don't really have a lot of depth behind that, though. Trey Herndon and Sidney Jones. But I think that's a solid place to start, CJ and Shaquille Griffin. Linebacker looks kind of okay. Looks pretty good. You got Miles Jack still. Joe Schobert, I think, is somewhat overrated. I think he was a Pro Bowler a couple years ago with the Browns. Once again, he's a big tackle guy, not very good in coverage. This team actually does have a decent bit of needs. Not receiver, though. I'm big on all these receivers. They just signed Marvin Jones, DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault. Colin Johnson made some plays for him last year, too. I think you can upgrade over Colin Johnson, but if you have a good quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, yeah, that helps. But, yeah, I don't think I'm switching it up. I was thinking about it, but I don't think people realize how big of a need tight end is for the Jaguars. At least this website that we're using doesn't. They have it as the quarterbacks are the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 biggest need. They have it behind running back with James Robinson. You want to know what the depth chart is for the?
But James Robinson had a pretty.
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't need a running back. I love.
Oh
James.
Yeah.
Why
am I acting stupid?
Yeah, look, James Robinson and Carlos Hyde. You mean to tell me they need running back over tight end? Look at their tight end depth chart. Chris Manhertz, James O'Shaughnessy, Tyler Davis, and Ben Ellefson.
Bro, just pick your man, Pat.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go Pat Freiermuth here. Look, outside of the obvious clear-cut number 1 tight end in Kyle Pitts, Pat Freiermuth is easily the number 2. I'm just gonna go to tight ends now. I guess I have Brevin Jordan as my 3, but I think Brevin Jordan is a guy you probably want to take like 3rd round, maybe late 2nd. Pat Freiermuth to me is easily levels above him. I think recently we've seen Penn State tight ends, and I can only think of one, Mike Gesicki, but he's a beast now in the Dolphins. I just think this is a need pick if I'm the Jaguars, and if I'm the Jaguars, I want to give Lawrence weapons. Like, I want him. He has weapons, but why not just capitalize on surrounding him with talent? And look, you always want a tight end on the field. Like, at some point, like the tight end's gonna be in your offensive sets most of the time. And I don't want to go out there running with Chris Manhertz and James O'Shaughnessy. I'm sorry, I think James O'Shaughnessy is a solid blocker. You can probably use him because I think he started for them last year. They have him as his tight end too, but yeah, I think you don't have any receiving threats at tight end, and now you do with Pat Freiermuth. So I think this is just a need pick, and I love this for the Jaguars late in the 1st round. Yeah, if I'm the GM, I'm going weapon here.
And I think it's really a different game, and just the game has evolved with these tight ends being just more athletic, moving like receivers. Like, if we were even like 5 years ago, I would not pick a tight end in the top 5. I would not. Yeah, but it's just a different game. Like Kelsey, Kittle, and Waller just really making it so obvious that having that mix match really changes everything, man. Especially if you have a number 1 bona fide receiver, or if you even have 3 solid receivers like the Jacksonville Jaguars do. Adding that tight end, the mix matches, man. Yeah, it's tough.
He's big too. Freiermuth, 6'5", 251. And he can be a good blocker too. And he's just very versatile, like I said. Obviously, the definition of versatility is Kyle Pitts. He's not that, but I just like that pick for the Jags. Pat Freiermuth. Browns.
The Browns. Let's dive right into that. So, this is probably the best roster on paper. Honestly. Yeah, might be like fair. There are literally no
them are the Buccaneers.
Yeah, definitely. So, as I'm really looking through this team, what they could honestly use, they could use a corner.
Let me see.
But we already took all the corners, so we can't do that. They may need.
We did.
Do they need edge? They got that boy Jadeveon and Tack. I don't think they necessarily need edge.
I'm not a big believer in Tack McKinley. I'm not.
Oh, me neither. But Jadeveon and Tack. If you
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. You got Myles Garrett.
Garrett and Clowney, but
and you got rid of Richardson. It's in between Barmore or believe it or not, I'm either leaning towards him or I'm leaning towards Zaven Collins. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm still looking at tight ends.
Because honestly, linebacker to me, I really feel like if they get that linebacker,
ooh,
man, that could really put them over the edge. And now as I'm saying it, man, I think that's just more of a need than the D line, you know? Christian Barmore, like, that's what I chose last time because I was like, you know what? They got rid of Sheldon Richardson. Why not just get Christian Barmore? But I just think Zaven Collins, man, when you talk about an athletic freak.
Oh, I love
like
Zaven
the
Collins.
size, bro.
He's the linebacker I watched the most of, like, live last year. He's the guy who I pay attention. I think didn't he win like the linebacker of the year award? I forgot what it was called. I'm whiffing on the name of it, but I think he won linebacker of the year.
All I know is
he's a beast.
He's the highest single season coverage grade.
Yeah.
By an off-ball linebacker.
He is the best cover. Well, I think it's debatable between him and JOK. But as far as he had pick sixes, he made plays at Tulsa. Like, he single-handedly won Tulsa some games, and Tulsa was a solid football team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and I love that fit on the Browns in the 4-3.
I feel like it's a very Browns pick too. You know, the physicality. You know, they're probably more so on the physicals than the actual production. So I feel like that 6'5", 259, and he doesn't play like that.
No, he plays like he's like 220. Like, where he flies, he
Mm-hmm.
moves. And that size, wow, I love that. And he can play off the ball.
And that's what they need.
Yeah.
And they do need some cornerback, but the cornerback's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, you're not. Maybe since it's towards the end of the draft, you may see some players being reached for.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean.
I
think Zaven Collins is the move.
Yeah. I think that's where I go to as well. If I'm the Browns, if I'm the GM here, I think I go Zaven Collins as well because I'm high on Zaven Collins. And looking at the roster, I think Greedy Williams has not had the fair chance to, like, really prove himself so far.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams. I know they have Troy Hill starting right now or projected to start. Greedy Williams has had a tough break.
They did get Troy Hill and John Johnson.
Yeah.
And they have Del Pitt.
Yeah, Del Pitt. Yeah, that's secondary, man.
Bro.
Look, that's why I'm saying corner is not – look, it might be a need, but they have a lot of very, very talented players in the secondary that I think it can kind of mask their weaknesses.
And the pass rush, man.
But I think you can't mask the linebacking situation. I don't like –
I don't like Walker. I don't like the Taki whatever.
Taki?
Taki?
Taki.
I kind of like that.
No,
Taki.
I actually think he wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, third-round pick out of BYU a couple years ago. But no, Zaven Collins, he gets drafted, and I think he's immediately the best linebacker right now.
But I do feel like after this pick, this is where it gets fun.
This is where it gets
really fun.
Because you're drafting for the teams that are, like, Super Bowl contenders, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
And the next couple teams kind of need similar needs. So, I mean, yeah.
Okay, trying to throw me off like that. All right. Honestly, yeah, okay. I'm the Ravens GM here. I'm not going to even play around words right now. I'm taking Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. This is another guy who I watched a ton of when Minnesota was, like, playing well. Weren't they, like, a couple years ago, like, in the top 5 at one point for college football?
I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
You're like asking me a hypothetical. Like,
yeah, Minnesota was cold.
Rhetorical.
Yeah, Minnesota was cold, and what I know, he played alongside Tyler Johnson, who's on the Buccaneers now, and Tyler Johnson was pretty good, but Rashad Bateman was like the clear beast on that team, and oh my God, I keep saying it, no holes in his game though. He's got size, he can separate pretty well. He's just a very consistent, like he's a guy who I would just feel comfortable having like out wide. And you look at the complementing receivers, now you got him, Hollywood Brown. You're giving like Lamar Jackson, outside of Hollywood Brown and his tight ends, he hasn't really had a lot of weapons to throw to on the outside. And I think there's this, I think Rashad Bateman here for the Ravens is need wise. You just need to surround Lamar Jackson with talent. I think there's this, the media nowadays, there's this just, I guess, I don't know, maybe not the media, but just people I know claim Lamar Jackson can't throw. Did y'all like miss out on the fact he won MVP like 2 years ago?
It's crazy
and
how
led the league
narrative
in passing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna forget that happened? Are we gonna forget that insane throw he had to the back corner of the end zone to Hollywood Brown? Maybe it wasn't Hollywood Brown. I don't know. Look it up. Look up that throw. Just look up Lamar Jackson back corner end zone throw. I guarantee y'all find it. He can throw the ball, and I'm tired. Look,
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, that was a beauty.
Lamar Jackson he can throw, and stop telling me he can't. He's not a running back. Get him some weapons. I think him and
Not bad for a running back.
Yeah, him and Hollywood Brown are. I think that makes a great tandem in Baltimore, and I think this is the furthest we see Rashad Bateman fall. I don't think he falls any lower, and if he does, that's an absolute steal. I think he is the best wide receiver available at this point, and this is a very stacked receiver class. But I think Bateman is a go-to round one wide receiver for sure, just because of the lack of holes in his game.
Okay, now moving on to the Saints. Is this a player that I would want them to draft? Hell no. I definitely would not want to see him on the field, especially with Sean Payton's creativity of an offense, also with the gadget type of player that Taysom Hill is and Jameis Winston with his arm. I really feel like this man would stretch the field for a guy like Mike Thomas. He would really benefit with this man on the field. Give me Rondale Moore out of Purdue.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of college football.
I know you love Rondale Moore.
I don't watch a lot of it, man. I don't. I really don't. I'm trying to get more with it, especially as we keep on doing this show. I definitely will.
Yeah.
But
You're learning. But
Exactly.
there's not much to learn about Rondale. You just watch the highlights, and that's
just flash.
that's his film. His film is
Yeah.
highlights. He's a gadget player. They love to get him involved at Purdue. You watch his highlights, it's like watching his film. It really is. And I think that's a fun player, like you said, for Sean Payton. 100% agree. I think that's a great pick. I don't know if that's the receiver I take, but I don't think you miss. And I know, especially looking at last year, basically every wide receiver that was coming off the board played well. I mean, outside of maybe Jalen Reagor, I kind of want to actually look back right now, because I think right now we're trending towards, like, I guess, a time that you aren't really missing on receivers. You're really not.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, let me look back last year. I'm just going to go through the picks.
I mean, we're in a 4.29.
I'm going to go by position.
4.29. And I don't watch a lot of college football, y'all, but this man is one of my favorite players to watch.
I'm going to list the wide receivers taken in order from last year's draft.
Okay.
Henry Ruggs.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb. Jalen Reagor. But you know who was picked immediately after Jalen Reagor? Justin Jefferson. Brandon Ayuk. T. Higgins. Michael Pittman. Laviska Shenault. KJ Hamler. Chase Claypool. I think all of those guys, maybe not Jalen Reagor, all of those guys right now are balling.
I feel bad for the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really was listening to.
Wow.
Like, damn, man, the Eagles.
All of those guys. Now, KJ Hamler struggled with some injuries last year, but
baller.
I think he's a beast. And even right after, Van Jefferson, Denzel Mims. Whew. Yeah. So if it's anything like last year's draft, you're not missing by taking Rondale Moore here. And if I am the Green Bay Packers, I'm not missing either by taking Kadarius Toney.
This is a guy you put me on to.
Yeah.
I will say you definitely put me on to this guy.
Yeah, no, Kadarius Toney, when Kyle Pitts wasn't making plays on the field for Florida, you know it was Kadarius Toney. Like, Kadarius Toney was the other guy outside of Kyle Pitts, and he really just at the start of the year, he wasn't a guy that too many people were high on, right? Like, maybe not first round buzz. He definitely has some first round buzz now. People know his name. He played himself into this, he's just so explosive with the ball in his hands. It's almost similar to Rondale Moore, where just after the catch or like on punt returns or something, like, just watch out. Like, he's always a threat to score. And I think the Packers just finally end the drought of not having a first round receiver, and they can finally take one and calm their fans down a little bit. And I think Packers fans would be more than happy to have a guy like Kadarius Toney on their team. I think he's a very similar-ish player to Randall Cobb when they had Randall Cobb. And I think Aaron Rodgers is missing a guy like Randall Cobb. He's got a lot of big-bodied speed guys, and obviously Devontae Adams, who we don't need to talk about him. He's top 3 wide receiver in the league, in my opinion. Get him Toney. I think the Packers would love to have a wide receiver here, and I think it helps them out with just having more dynamic playmakers on the offense. So I like Kadarius Toney at 29. Now this is a fun selection here. I think they can go a lot of ways.
The Bills. Man, you could go a lot of ways. Honestly, as I'm thinking about it, I'm already going to tell you off the rip. I got him taking a wide receiver here. You missed out on John Brown, who made a lot of he was an underrated player in their system. He made a lot of big plays for them. And honestly, I don't know who their tight end is. Cole Beasley's your slot. Stephon Diggs, he's proven that he's a top 5 receiver in this game.
Stephon's so good.
Exactly.
He's so good.
So, what I do here,
I got to pull up the depth chart too.
Honestly, the player, it's in between Terrence Marshall and Elijah Moore. One guy is bigger, can make contested catches. One guy's smaller and is faster, but can also make contested catches as well. So that is why I'm going with Elijah Moore.
Okay.
I feel like you have a solid route runner, a really good route runner. Well, let me take that back. He's a better route runner than Terrence Marshall. Okay. I wasn't going to say that. That's going out on a limb, especially because I'm not really that educated on these wide receivers like that.
Yeah.
But what I do know from him is he makes a lot of contested catches. And with that arm that Josh Allen has, he has a cannon.
Yeah, he has got the strongest arm in the league.
He's going to let it fly.
Yeah.
And I feel like despite his size, I feel like he's made for Bills Mafia, that toughness, you know? So I feel like, honestly, give him a shot in that system.
I think wide receiver personally isn't as big of a need. I don't think I'd go wide receiver at 30 to the Bills. But I have a friend who's an Ole Miss fan, diehard Ole Miss fan, and I have a friend who's a diehard Bills fan. So this pick would kind of – they're always arguing, even though it's stupid because they're arguing about just football in general. They don't even, like, bash each other's teams or anything. This would kind of, I feel like they'd be able to, like, shake hands on this and be like, all right, this is a good pick. But, I think you're getting more of a dynamic playmaker in Elijah Moore than Cole Beasley, because Cole Beasley just gives you consistency, but sometimes you just expect more playmaking. And at his size, I know they're similar size, honestly. Cole Beasley is, he's 5'8". You actually get an inch taller with Elijah Moore there. Emmanuel Sanders is getting old. I'm a big believer in Gabriel Davis, actually, which is why I wouldn't go wide receiver here. But I know some people probably aren't. He was he was a late round guy last year. I like him a lot, but honestly, with the age in Sanders and Beasley, I think you're drafting for the future. And the more I think about it, the more I actually do like that pick. So I think Elijah Moore actually does make more sense.
Yeah, because the more you were talking,
I talked myself into it.
Maybe they could have went edge. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if
that's probably where I would have gone.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the one where if they were arguing, I would probably guess that they were probably talking about either defensive line.
I go Jason. I'm going Jason Owe there for 30 for the Bills.
4'3", bro, off the edge.
4'3", 6'5", 250. I don't care that he had 0 sacks. Just let him just get him out there. The Bills have a very solid team. They went 13-3 for a reason in the AFC. Just think about that. You don't have a lot of pressure, as far as being that good day one, because that edge is, look, Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes are very solid pass rushers, but they're both old. And you just drafted AJ Epinesa last year, who got a lot of first round buzz. Was he taken in the second round? Let me double check. I think he was. Yeah, he was a late second round pick last year. I like that. Because I think you have Jerry Hughes and Mario Addison now learning, and now you have a first and second round player learning behind 2 established vets. You basically just set yourself up. Even when they're both gone, you're not losing out on much. Which is a very interesting.
He talked himself back into it.
Yeah, I went.
Let's go.
But I still don't hate Elijah Moore. I think late first round is just I feel like a lot of late first round guys tend to be successful low key because they're just going into a good situation.
Facts. So it's more so team need than best player.
A lot of late picks, and I don't think this gets talked down enough. A lot of just late first rounders are just set up for success low key because they don't. The expectations are high-ish, but they're still a first round pick. The talent is there, so. I don't know. I like Elijah Moore there. It's not a bad pick. However, I'm sitting here at 31. Kansas City Chiefs. Let me look at the board here.
What do they? I honestly don't know who you're going to go with here.
Yeah.
I really don't. Let me look at the Chiefs. Let me pull up their depth chart. And I'll tell you what I would have done after you give your pick.
Yeah, because I think my guy isn't here anymore that I went with last time.
Bro, yeah. The nasty old lineman. I forgot what his name is.
Where is he? Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, he went to the Raiders, man. Yeah. Oakland drafted that boy, Tevin Jenkins. Yeah.
Is that what I did last time?
Yeah, that's what you did last time, and that's the big reason why I was like, hey.
Yeah.
A John Gruden thing to do would be to take the player the Chiefs with.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do here. Where's he at?
No cap. If I were them.
This is tough. But where's he at? Wow. They have him ranked 156 on this. But this is a guy who I've heard more about than anyone else here. Okay, I'm going to do it. I am going to take Walker Little out of Stanford. You probably don't even know who that is.
No, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well, Walker Little is a guy who we just haven't seen in so long, right? He hasn't played in 2 years, right?
Oh,
but
man.
He was a 5-star recruit in 2017, and when he was on the field, he was a beast. He played really well. We just don't know what he's going to be. But here's the thing. I think after that Super Bowl, Chiefs fans are just mad. They're like, I believe that Chiefs fans believe the reason they lost is because, well, first of all, the drops, which were very uncharacteristic for them. But it was O-line. Pat Mahomes was running for his life, and he was still making throws that no other quarterback in the NFL can make.
Yes.
Maybe Josh Allen, I guess, with the arm strength, but like the off-platform insane throws, like, you know, he was running for his life. I don't want Mahomes running for his life if I'm the Chiefs. So I'm taking the shot. If you hit on Walker Little at the end of the first round, you're getting a guy who could potentially be one of the best offensive tackles in this draft. We just don't know. So 5-star recruit, hasn't played in a while. You know, you got some injury concerns, but I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him go late first, early second. And if I'm the GM of the Chiefs, I already have a stacked roster. Why not? Why not take the flyer? If he pans out and he's healthy, you have a way better tackle than anyone on your roster right now. So I love that pick for the Chiefs. That's who I'm going with.
Honestly, going O-line, I mean, that would be the best ideal pick. And honestly, I wouldn't go receiver. I would either went linebacker or offensive line, honestly. But, I mean,
like interior offensive line for the Chiefs?
No. I for sure offensive tackle because they signed that boy Joe. I forgot what his name is from New England. The guard.
Tooney.
Yeah.
Tooney.
So
Big Tooney. And they have Duvernay.
I only would have went inside linebacker. Did I say inside O-line?
No, you said O-line.
Oh,
you said inside linebacker.
Yeah,
that's
I would
fair.
definitely went either linebacker or O-line, but I mean either or. I mean,
you can upgrade over Dorian
after that Super Bowl. I mean, going O-line first round, I think is whoever is the highest on the board, like whoever's the result of whatever happens on draft night, you just take him. Who cares?
Yeah.
Honestly, after that Super Bowl, like we don't care. We all know it's basically going to the favorites. It's just going to be a rematch.
Yeah.
We expect the Bucs to be there. AFC is just going to be a blood war. Whoever just like the Browns, the Bills, the Chiefs, whoever just ends out on top of the AFC.
Yeah, it's just so stacked today.
Exactly, but I think the Bucs are pretty much like, okay, we're back in this bitch.
Yeah, all their starters are back.
But okay, speaking of the Bucs, honestly, I think this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer.
Okay. I feel like I know who you're going with here.
Give me my boy. Like, if they really made this big, it'll literally make me mad. It'll literally piss me off and probably the whole entire league. But it's such a no-brainer. Give me Travis Etienne off the Clemson, man.
Right. Here we go. Conclude.
Just the thought of him on that team, like me as a Falcons fan, I hate it. But me as a Travis Etienne fan, I just love it. I love it. What does Tom Brady love to do? He loves to give it to his running backs. He can do it both. He can do it both, and he's explosive. He's a home run hitter. He makes big plays after big plays. He adds a new element to the offense where it's very explosive. You know, you did get Gio Bernard. Who cares? You have Leonard Fournette. Yeah, he has years on him in the league, but you get a fresh running back that's playing with Tom Brady and saw what that team was able to do. You don't think he's motivated to run that rock for that team? Man, with that O-line and Tom Brady motivating you every Sunday, man, I feel like if you get running back in that first round and you just draft whatever, okay, we just need to get this and this. Hey, Tom Brady, we got the 3rd round pick. Who do you want us to pick? Literally, you have no needs. All you have to do is just draft for depth, for potential injuries. Other than that, you are set. But get that boy Travis Etienne if he's there.
I think Bucks are the team that's in the prime position to take wide receivers late. You know, because you got what's his face? I can't believe I'm whiffing on his name.
Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, Chris Godwin.
And you still have Howard and Brake.
Yeah, he just got the franchise tag. With all the money going out, I don't know if you can re-sign him long term.
True.
But you have him for at least another year. I don't think. And look, we had 4 receivers go back to back to back to back. Ravens, Saints, Packers, Bills. So maybe they liked one of those guys, and now they don't need to go.
I honestly really do believe at least 2 receivers are going to be picked between those 4, though.
Oh, I think Packers and Ravens have to go receiver. I think.
And I think honestly, man,
Saints,
bro,
yeah.
I don't really know about the Bills, but I think those 3 teams.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's probably where we're going to see receivers go back to back to back. I like my 2 picks for the Ravens and the Packers there. All right, so
yeah, man, but that wraps up the mock draft.
Yeah.
Now we got to go through and see. Let's ask each other for each other. Which pick is the best?
Okay,
like unexpected.
Okay, unexpected
for each other. Like you say,
okay, for
what was
you?
best for me? Yeah.
Let me go through all of them. I'll tell you my favorite. Micah Parsons to the Patriots at 15.
Let's go. I knew it.
Yeah. I love that one to me because
it caught you off guard.
Because here's the thing. I hear Micah Parsons going early first and late first. I don't see him going mid first very often. And I think you talked me into it with Bill Belichick scheming him up in that system. Just that kind of freak athlete. He can come down. That puts the Patriots defense back where it was a couple years ago that got him, they lost to the Titans, but that team was scary. I was scared of that team heading into the postseason, Brady's last year. But man, I love that fit.
I know, right? It seems like a match made in heaven.
And I don't see it happening a lot. I don't know. Maybe if people hear this and are devout football fans and are like, what are these people talking about? Micah Parsons is trash or he doesn't fit that scheme at all. Let us know.
He's versatile, man.
But yeah, I don't think he's with Bill Belichick. He's going to play him to his strengths. That's what he does best. And when Micah Parsons is playing to his strengths.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully worded.
Yeah.
He plays to the player's strength.
That's
why when they leave,
pick. I love that pick.
That's why when the players leave, aside from Chandler Jones, they fall off. He can make them play at an all-pro
Kyle
level.
Van Noy had a solid time for the Dolphins. He was terrible for the Lions though.
Terrible.
Yeah, he was
That's
terrible.
Patricia, man.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, when he asked for a trade, he was like, yeah, I want to get traded to every team but the Patriots because that man, Patricia's there. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, I think that's a sign.
Yeah, but honestly, my favorite pick for you,
I feel like I kind of went where stuff was expected.
Honestly, you went expected everywhere except for that Waddle to New York. I really think that's a low key. Like at first, I was like, "What? They need more need." But honestly, looking at everything that they needed, I'm like, you know what? Why not make it fun? Give Daniel Jones another fun weapon because I am a Daniel Jones fan. I do like Daniel Jones. I don't care what anyone says. I will say on that draft night, I was like, him over Haskins. I don't care. My friend was like,
"You called
what Haskins? Blah blah." And that's not even saying much, but still, I do believe that Daniel Jones could get it done. So I really feel like you give Jalen Waddle in that just new environment that Joe Judge has established, which I really think that Joe Judge has done a magnificent. If he made the playoffs, he could have really got Coach of the Year.
I love
considerations, man.
Joe Judge is a great coach. Yeah, I mean, I think
that was a really good pick you did there.
Yeah,
I was like, at first,
I definitely hate the Eagles and the Cowboys a lot more than I hate the Giants too, because they'd stopped the Patriots twice. So shout out to you, Eli Manning. I will never root for the Giants in my life, but that was nice. And I know the Eagles did it too, but I just don't like the Eagles. So
And honestly, my personal favorite would either be the Micah Parsons, but since you took that, I'll probably go Tevin Jenkins. I like that pick to the Raiders.
That would have been second for me as well, because I was not expecting you to be like aware of that, and you hit the nail on the head talking about John Gruden and that kind of, he wants that kind of dog mentality, and I feel like he would fit. I feel like that finally just breaks the mold of Raiders going speed receiver and drafting speed. Like, they actually make a smart pick here and go Tevin Jenkins and continue that.
Because they are on the hot seat too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is your, like, hey, like, we need to focus on what we actually need. And
and I mean, I know they signed John Brown. I don't know if you think they need a receiver or not, but like I said, this receiver class, there's so many guys you can call on. I mean, even like round 4 or 5, you'll probably find some guys who can be gems. We see it every year. So, and for me, I guess my personal favorite, I'm not going to say Waddle, because I actually see Waddle mocked to New York a lot. I just wanted to be different, but I do love that fit. The more I see it, the more I love it. And yeah, so for me, it made sense to go there. I think it made sense more than any other pick. And it ended up, because I did that, you got the steal of the draft at 15.
Yeah.
Personally, looking at it for myself, I think I'm gonna say Pat Freiermuth to the Jags, and I literally just
you love that man, Pat,
and it's just because like their tight ends look so bad, and it's like I don't think he gets talked about enough because Kyle Pitts is Kyle Pitts, but if this is any other year, Pat Freiermuth is probably your tight end 1, and you could go higher than this, and I don't know, I just love giving, why can't I think of his name? I love giving Trevor Lawrence just another weapon. Now you have big body receiver and Pat Freiermuth. You have DJ Chark, big body speed receiver. Laviska Shenault's got some good size and is very versatile.
Yep.
You have weapons on that team, and you have Marvin Jones Jr. So look out. That's low key kind of a scary receiving threat now that you add Pat Freiermuth to the mix. And I think he's going to be there at 25. I think he realistically goes round 2, but I like that. I like that for the Jags there. I think they could have gone safety as well. Trayvon Moehrig is a guy who we didn't even end up picking in the first round. But you do see safety slip all the time. My guy Landon Collins on Washington, I thought he was going to be a first rounder.
Last year with Winfield and Delpit.
Yeah, second round guys. I think you see safety slip all the time. So I don't know. And he's a guy who I low-key was thinking about at 32 for the Bucks. For like a split second before I remembered they had Antoine Winfield and all of their starters back on that team. But yeah, who else was I thinking Morg for? Jags, yeah.
Honestly, I know you've been showing a lot of love for my picks, but honestly, that JC Horn pick is gonna surprise a lot of people. But
really, you
the
think
way
so?
the way how you talk about him
though, up now.
I wasn't surprised. But yeah, I mean he is getting hyped up. But I mean, you seeing him at 10, it's a pretty good fit. And the Trey Lance at 7.
Yeah.
The first time I heard it, I was like, what? And then you kind of like.
Because you don't see that anywhere. You don't see Trey Lance going 7 to the Lions. As far as like. Because people like to project players that just like. I don't know. They like to project people to just go like where they think the team are going to select them or whatever. But like I said, we put ourselves as the GMs. And I'm breaking the mold of what the Lions are probably going to do. All right. We've been recording for almost 2 hours.
You stopped the recording?
No, I haven't stopped it.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Mine says 1 hour 58 minutes.
Should we chop it up? I say we just drop it.
Yeah.
Why not? It's our first time. And if whoever's here right now, shouts out to you. I don't know. I could not sit through 2 hours of recording.
I'm sorry.
But I had an absolute blast recording this, man. I really did. This was the most fun I've had, just doing something like this in a long time. I mean, I love to analyze players and prospects and to like envision things, but I think to actually sit down and record it and take it seriously it's cool. It's been a dope experience.
Yeah, and I definitely attest to that, especially with someone that has. How should I word it? I should word it as someone who has more knowledge than me. Like, I'm not really used to that. Usually I'm the guru. Usually I'm the one that usually is the one teaching someone, but having someone know a lot about the game but also having me look at it in a different way that I've never had before, because usually I'm not a big college guy. I'm more so just pros. But looking at these prospects and seeing how they fit in different teams and seeing how different situations can really impact their career, it just really makes it very more interesting being a sports fanatic like I am. So, I mean, this has definitely been a blast. This is the first of many, and if you really have been listening this whole time, shouts out to you, and this has really been fun. Yeah, we're going to continue doing this, man.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I don't even care. Honestly, like, I want people to watch this and just maybe give me feedback, give me something, you know. And I hope this reaches some form of audience, but if not, I don't even really, I don't care. This is just fun for me.
Yeah.
This is a fun hobby, and I'm looking forward to see what we got planned for the future, and just, I don't know. Looking forward to future projects, but I guess that's it. That's our mock draft, no trades in the minds of the GM, and yeah. What, do we not have an outro either? I'm just going to hit stop record.
All right.
All right, bet. Let's do it.